So, hello everybody. Peggy, do not worry. I am here. I am back. I was just closing the window. It's loud outside. I'm on a very busy street. So, hello, welcome to the webinar. My name is Paul Gough. It's good to be here. Can you? Am I there? I'm there. Peggy, I am here. I'm loud and clear. I was just closing the window on my office door. I'm on a very busy high street right now, so I just nipped out. It's good to be here. Hopefully you can hear me and hopefully you can see me. Just give me a sign into the chat that you can see me loud and clear. Let me know that you are there. Who have I got on today's webinar? My name is Paul Gough. It's great to be here, and while we wait for 500 of the world's best PTs to arrive, please do type into the chat and let me know that we are broadcasting to you loud and clear. You should be able to hear me, see me, and see a presentation screen as well. Peggy, Lauren is here. Lauren, where are you from? David says, I can hear and see you. Betsy is here. Keith, good to see you, Keith. Always. Tim, nice to see you. Hopefully we speak this week. Eric, good to see you. Very familiar name. Deb, Alexandra, loud and clear. Darren, Cassie, Justin Rabinowitz, here again. Keen to learn, Justin. Betsy, Maria, I can hear and see you from Ohio. So type into the chat where you're from. While we wait for 500 to come on, I want to know where you're from. Let's see where this crowd is. You have a lot to live up to. Webinar number 2. Yesterday we did this webinar. 500 more, actually. We lost a few people who kept coming and going. Big tip for you. Please keep your spot on the webinar. We always oversubscribe, and if you leave, you will not get back on. So if you are nipping out for a coffee, you need to go to the bathroom, do not lose your seat in this global broadcast because you will not get back on. We have Lauren from NOLA. I love NOLA. I was there just a few weeks ago. Fabulous. A fabulous city. Ethan, good to see you. Mitchell, I'm here from New Jersey. Justin Rabinowitz's country. Holly from Utah. I've never been to Utah, but I would love to. Northern Virginia. I was in Alexandria recently. John from Texas. We had, John, a lot of people in from Texas on the webinar yesterday, which was great. We've got Alaska. Laura from Alaska. Don't get many PTs on here from Alaska. We've got Columbia. Tim. Wisconsin is Eric. Good. Who else? Ashley. Colorado. Love Colorado. One of my favorite states. Where else? Janelle from New Jersey, I think. Ruth from Minnesota. Elsa from San Antonio. Frank Hatch. We've got Santa Fe, New Mexico in. Good to see you, Frank. Sasha from Williamsburg, Virginia has got a good representative tonight. Nick from Toronto. A few in from Canada yesterday. Britain. We had people from Sweden. We've got Denmark tonight. Williamsburg, VA. Ella from North Carolina, Brooklyn. I love Brooklyn. One of my favorite places. Is it the Burger Shack? What's it called? I can't think of it. Possibly is called the Burger Shack or the Shake Shack. The Shake Shack down there on Brooklyn, where you can grab your burger, you can grab your steak and stare back at the beautiful Manhattan skyline. Is one of my favorite places in the world, particularly in summer. That was the last time I was there. I was in Shake Shack. Wisconsin in from Amanda, so we've got a bit of competition there tonight. Not a lot, because I'm the first to open up a cash-based PT clinic here, says Laura. Good. Love it. The problem with that is once the first mouse gets to the cheese, everybody else wants a piece of it, so you've got to protect yourself. Santa Barbara. Sound is clear. Love Santa Barbara. I did Highway 1 all the way from San Francisco once down to LA just a few years ago, which was good. Kevin from San Fran. Kevin, I'm featuring you on this webinar tonight. I give you a good mention last night as one of my favorite case studies of my most recent clients. So I'm going to give you a big, I'm going to make you world famous tonight, Kevin. So it's good to see that you were on. So who else have I got? How many have I got now? Where's my 4, 9, 8. We're at 498 of a maximum of 500. So type into the chat what type of clinic you've got. So I know where you're from. Let's see what type of clinic that you've got as well. I'd love to see the different types of businesses ultimately that we're getting on this webinar tonight. Whether you are in network, whether you are out of network, whether you are out of sorts, whether you are a cash-based business, whether you're private pay, or you just can't decide and you're not quite sure, and that's half the damn problem. Type into the chat what you think you are. What's the state of play in your business right now? It always is good to know, and I can lead the content. Hybrid, primarily insurance and some cash. Darren, I suggest, or I suspect you might be wanting to send a few screw you letters to certain insurance companies and get a bit more cash. online telephysio and in-home, in-office cash-based. Love that. Betsy. Ruth is cash-based. Will from Utah, want to start a new cash pay. We had some great new businesses join our program last night. Absolute out of the gate. One or two people still in unemployment at the mill-like PT clinics and decided to get ready to write that resignation letter, but to do it with the help of some good marketing advice, which is very smart. Cash-based in Austin. Says waiting for name. Out of network is Justin. In network outpatient. Planning on opening cash based is Marie. Cash based Pilates, very smart, Holly. I like that. Cash based clinic with bike fitting speciality. There is it Pedal PT? You should check him out, Kevin. He's a really smart guy. Did my accelerator program a few years ago from Oregon area, I believe. He's doing incredibly well, and he's a bike specialist. Fabulous niche to get into. Cash-based mailing is Tim. Good. We all love the green stuff, the real green stuff, not the green stuff you get in Denver and California these days. Cash, go-to client practice. Sasha is hybrid. Transitioning to cash, says Peggy. Yeah, a lot of people trying to transition to cash. Orthopedic, outpatient, hybrid and cash, and insurance. Want to get more cash pay in my life, says Ashley. Don't we all? I visited him. Kevin Schmidt, yeah, Pedal PT, amazing guy, Deb. Like I said, he was on this webinar about 18 months ago, and had the pleasure of working with him for quite a while. He's a smart dude. Montreal, I was in Montreal recently. Did we meet, Rana? I was speaking for Physio, Action Sport Physio International over there, the franchise. Amanda wants to start a cash-based business as soon as possible. So we've got a good mix on today, and like I said, you guys have got a lot to live up to. There's big expectations on your shoulders as to your interaction with me this evening, last night, or yesterday morning, wherever it was, wherever you were listening to. Fabulous audience, one of the best, most interactive webinars that I've ever held, and we had some fabulous new students of our accelerator program join from that webinar last night, which is always cool. So today we're at 500, so I'm going to get going, and this is my point to you as I stare at you wherever you are. Do not leave this training. You will most likely not get back in. I think Jared got locked out again yesterday. He must sort out that Wi-Fi to keep some stability, to allow him to stay on these webinars, because he forever gets locked out. So we have a Medicare. Love that. Love. My audience is definitely 55, 60, 65 plus. Fabulous group of people to be able to market to and ultimately work with. So let's get going. Type into the chat if you're ready. You're ready to learn. What's the thing that you want to know more about? I'm going to be asking you that as we go along. Please take notes. It's a genuine training. I've got a lot to share with you. Tons of information to give you as we move through this webinar together. Take notes. Share it out on social. Some great fun yesterday on the on Instagram and Twitter. At the Paul Gough is my Twitter handle. And do me a favor. I'm on Instagram as well. Take a screenshot, and I mean this, take a screenshot of a slide that resonates with you and just tag me in, video it, do whatever you're going to do, and I'll have some fun with you later on this evening. We'll connect, we'll talk. At the Paul Gough is my Twitter handle. When you see a slide that resonates with you, or you think that other people need to know this, take a screenshot, tag me in, say something about it, and I'll have some fun with you today. There are 500 people, so I want to see a few notifications when I put my phone on after this webinar. So if you are ready, I'm ready. Authority marketing, step by step, how to add 100 grand in cash pay patients using the new authority marketing system, with me and you and 499 other of the world's best physical therapists. I am broadcasting to you right now around the globe from my own office. That picture that you can see on the bottom right hand screen is my clinic, or one of the 4 clinics that I own. That's the door to my HQ here in Hartlepool, and that window that you can see, that's where I am right now, literally. And it's a beautiful bank holiday weekend, a public holiday weekend this week in Britain. The sun is shining. We have reached the giddy heights again of around about 70, and the country comes to a standstill when the sun comes out for at least 2 days on the trot. Everybody's on the beach, everybody's in the beer gardens, hungover or sunburnt to bits already, and I'm here with you, and I couldn't be any more excited to be here and doing this instead. So Let's work out, who is this for? It's not for everybody. It's absolutely not. And like I said yesterday, my precursor to this is there are 500 people on this webinar, and sadly, of all of the information that I'm going to give and share with you, there really probably is only 10 or 15 people on the webinar who will actually do anything about it. And I'm very candid. What you'll find with me, I'm very open, I'm very honest. I'm flattered by the fact that 500 people have chosen to spend Saturday afternoon with me, or early Sunday morning if you are in Australia. But the reality and sad fact on all of this is that just 10 or 15 people will actually do something about it. And that's true of anything. So my challenge to you as I stare at you down the camera, are you one of the 10, 12, 13 people who will actually do something about it? Or are you like the other 487 who will probably do nothing with everything that I'm about to say? So this information is going to be shared freely and openly. What you do with it is up to you, is pretty much what I'm saying. I personally like to work with people who take action, who are here with intent to be successful in business. And for everybody else who is just flirting with businesses and just wants to sing Kumbaya when business gets a little bit tough, I'm probably not your right guy. So who this is for? You're not getting enough new patients or inquiries, then this is for you. You are fed up of hearing "I'll think about it" when it comes to the cash pay conversation. You're worried about raising prices and losing patients if you do. You want to grow your practice without needing referrals from doctors. This is absolutely for you. You want to get new patients fast, even if nobody knows who you are, and you have absolutely no idea where to start with your direct-to-public marketing, then this is for you. If you have website or webmaster frustration, pretty standard these days, this is for you. You are frustrated with patients constantly choosing the cheaper alternatives or the insurance option, and you are completely ignored or overlooked by doctors, despite being more skilled than the people that they are sending those referrals to. If you are an in-network PT, you want a bit more of the crisp green stuff in your life so that you can be more profitable, and you want to maybe drop some of the worst paying insurance companies. And it was a big theme last night of the in-network providers that many of them just want to be able to stick it to 2, 3, 4 of the worst paying companies. It's not a complete all-out transition that the smart businesses are doing. It's just dumping the bottom 2 or 3 and replacing $80 reimbursements with $250 per patient reimbursements. It makes a big difference to your life when you get some of that stuff going on in your practice. And if you've had little, if any, success like many with the back pain workshops, or you just attracted the wrong type of client, you'll love this training. Ultimately, I think, to sum up the frustration of many people who attend my trainings, you are fed up of being overlooked by cheaper providers or bigger hospital systems, and frustrated with the slow growth of your business, and finally ready to do something about it. And I meant that, what I said, and please, I mean it with the utmost respect, that sadly, a lot of people talk the talk about being frustrated, and a lot of people talk the talk about, how the situation is difficult and that they've had enough, and yet they'll put up with it for 20 to 25 years. What they say and what they actually do are two very different things. And like I said, I'm flattered by 500 people, but I have no false expectations that really, I'm probably talking to a maximum of 13 people who will actually do what I teach you in this next couple of hours that we've got together. So tell me about you. Type into the chat what's actually going on in your life right now. Why are you here? What is your biggest frustration? Give me your biggest frustration. Let it out. I'm an adult. Use whatever words you want. Don't hold back. Just type into the chat. Why are you here? What's your biggest frustration? Why have you given up Saturday afternoon, early Sunday morning, a beautiful sunny afternoon in England, Sunday afternoon? Why have you decided to spend it with a British guy who's going to teach you all about marketing? What the hell is going on to cause you to do it? John says everything you just said. How to market to intelligent, consumer-savvy patients without using insulting sales funnels. Like it. No getting referrals from doctors. Like it, Ty. Betsy, no new referrals for 7 weeks after starting out. Well, over 3 months ago. That story, by the way, is classic, Betsy. I hear that all the time. People who start businesses and have no marketing idea. It's the equivalent of buying a Ferrari without knowing how to drive it. Maybe we need to pass the test first and then buy the car. Who knows? Working in private practice. Slowly seeing reimbursements decrease. I understand that, Cassie. It is madness what is happening in this profession right now, that people are accepting what is ultimately unsustainable, where profit margins are being slashed and expenses are going up. there is only one thing that is happening and is going to happen faster. Let's look at the situation. If you have a situation, which many people in this profession do and choose to accept, by the way, reimbursements dropping, expenses rising, expenses as in physios who want more money, landlords who want increases every 2 years, gas and electric bills going up, local governments wanting however much for, council taxes we would call it here, cost of equipment and so on and so forth going up, and reimbursements going down. How can you possibly keep making a profit? Now, even if your business is growing, my point is going to be this. It's probably not growing profitably. And it's one thing to have a business that grows. It's another thing to have a business that grows profitably. The two are very different. Profitable businesses, healthy owners. Unprofitable businesses, sick owners, stressed, tired, overweight, lack of kids, heart problems, and so on and so forth. The madness that is going on in this profession never ceases to amaze me, that people keep accepting these crappy reimbursements rates and not looking to do something like getting out of a system, starting to get some more cash pay patients, charge what you want basically, see as many patients as you want, and ultimately set your own profits. When you're trapped in the system, it's a one-way ticket to hell. And the quicker you can get out of it, the absolute better. And ultimately, I think, as I stare at this in the chat, as Darren just says, you just described me. Darren, I probably described the 500 people on this webinar, 470. That's the situation in the industry. There's a few, 2, 3, 4, 5% who are doing something different, getting cash pay in their life, marketing very differently, and everybody else is still chasing after the doctors, still taking shit from insurance companies, still having to open up another letter that tells them their reimbursements are getting slashed again next year, and so on and so forth. And still then opening up another letter from a landlord saying he wants another $500 next year to stay in the same premises. That's the situation. It's madness to keep in that situation, but ultimately that's why we're here today, to give you and show you proof. And I think what you're going to find by the end of this webinar, not only am I going to show you the strategy, I think the biggest thing that I can give you and everybody on here right now is social proof, the proof that this is being done. This is now, I think a few years ago, the whole concept of getting cash pay patients and building a business without referrals from doctors was a bit of a kind of Walt Disney story, a bit of a Pixar movie. It was a good in theory, and it was a bit of light-hearted entertainment and conversation, but people were a bit skeptical about it. Not so now. The proof's in. People are doing it. People are making 100 grand cash a year from running a cash pay business, not speaking to a single doctor. And I'll show you case studies of it as we go through today. So bear in mind, what I'm going to show you is not just how to do it. I'm going to show you what I think most people actually need more than anything, is the proof that it can be done. I've got people who attended this webinar 18 months ago who've smashed through the 100 grand barrier since taking this webinar. In cash, predominantly. It's all coming up. So you're going to learn what authority marketing is and how to use it to make 100 grand in cash pay patients. How to dominate over your competition. The 3 vital steps to increase new patient volume. And if you're stuck, the exact steps to get unstuck. Why authority is the key to higher prices. Why people see your ads but don't buy from you. And how our clients are using this system to break through the 100 grand annual salary bracket. Now, this is the one, or one of many examples that I'm going to share with you. I'm going to show you how one of our clients has used this system to now charge $450 a session. I'll say that again, 450. When they started this webinar 18 months ago, they were at 175 or 185, I think it might have been. And I went to their clinic just a few weeks ago in California to check out really everything that they were doing. And when I left, they've given me permission to share with you examples of the ads that they are running, that they are using to drive people to the phone, and then happy to pay $450 per session. And if you hang around with me till the end of the webinar, I will show you the exact marketing ads that this company, Level 4 PT in Encinitas, just outside San Diego, are using to bring in people happy to pay $450 per session. To my knowledge, the highest charging cash PT, certainly of anybody using my material. So, who on here likes the sound of getting paid $450 per session in cash up front? Type into the chat. Just give me a hell yes. If you like the sound of $450 per session, and with a little strawberry in the champagne, just to round it off, up front, before service has even begun. If you not too shabby, says Deb. Not too shabby, of course. Hell yes, says Frank. As a chiro, I've been in the business for 3 years, never had a doc referral. I've been with Paul 1.5. He didn't pay me to say that. Thanks, Justin. I don't think anybody can read it. Yes, says Peggy. So we have a common goal to work towards. Everybody charging $450. It would be nice, and it's highly possible, and that's what I'm going to show you ultimately how to do. Who on here likes the sound of adding 100k per year in cash? From wherever you are now, stick 100 grand on it. I'm going to show you how to do it as we go through the webinar. Why is it important? Cash PT clinics popping up everywhere. You are a commodity. I think it was Laura who mentioned she's the first in Alaska. Let's speak in again, see how many other people have done it once you start to do it. That's the problem. We are a commodity, and it means it's very easy for people to set up practices these days. Referral sources drying up. Doctors are buying out the hospital systems, co-pay and deductibles, more resistance than ever to poor marketing, and mainly because so many clinics are failing with their direct marketing ads that there's never been a better time to get this right and get ahead. So let me ask you a question as we get going. What is the purpose of marketing? Well, the most common idea, the most naive idea, is that marketing is all about getting new clients. However, marketing can and should be used for building authority so that you become the most standout, obvious, and only provider that they are even considering hiring. So why is authority so important in your marketing? It's because people gravitate to authority figures. They are more trusted and perceived to be the best by the public, which is all that matters. People make decisions faster with authority figures, and because of confidence and trust, they are happy to pay higher prices to be looked after by an authority. Said differently, if you are having people who are stalling, who are indecisive, who are asking to speak to their insurance first, to talk to one or two other providers, to maybe try the insurance system around the corner, it's a pretty good sign that you have not got the authority in play before people arrive at your practice. You do not start building authority when they're in your clinic. Your certificates on the wall are not authority. Write that down. That is me too. Every single practitioner in your town, in your county, in your state has those same things on the wall. It does not make you different, no matter what anybody tells you or what you want to believe. You need authority before the patient arrives. And that's what your marketing is about. So, what is authority marketing? Well, let me show you what it looks like. This is precisely what it looks like. This is how we will make you very, very different, the standout professional in your area. It is not about how nice your ad looks. It's not about the logo. It's not about the pictures of the smiley, happy people. It's not about whether you have a pink font or a green font. It's not about whether or not you used italics or you made it boldened, or whether or not it's got a white background or a black background. This is what authority looks like. It's about positioning you as a recognizable face, a trusted authority, a mini celebrity in your town. More examples. Lady over in Washington. This is happening on the East Coast. I should have said that there was people on there from Australia. There are people all over the world now that we've taught this system to who are positioning themselves in their town as the obvious choice. If you are one of many, I will always choose the cheapest provider. The reason that Oscar on the right there is charging $450 and Jennifer in the middle is getting floods of phone calls from Facebook and from newspaper ads and is now moving towards a hybrid model of running a business and binning off insurance companies that just literally don't pay her, it's because they're doing something different. And different is not, I've been in business for 10 years, I'm friendly and I'm qualified, give me a call. That is me too. That is sacrificing or struggling along, sentencing yourself to a perpetual struggle of doing what everybody else in this profession has done for the last however many years and ultimately getting what everybody else is getting. This, what you are looking at right now, is authority marketing. And just to show you that it's going on in my business and in my world right now, those are my most recent Facebook ads, and those are the newspapers and postcards that I still, to this day, send out to my patients, having wrote those things 5, 6, 7 years ago. This is authority. This is positioning yourself as something very, very different to everybody else. If you are trying to run a business, copying what everybody else does, you will get, I promise, what everybody else gets. Pain, heartache, struggle, and a lack of profit at the end of the year. This is about adding $100,000 in cash pay to your clinic's revenue. Ultimately, Ultimately, and this struck a chord yesterday with the people on the webinar, it's about sticking two fingers up to those crappy insurance companies. It's about saying thanks but no thanks to doctors. And this is the one, showing anybody who ever doubted that you can do this business thing that they were dead fucking wrong. It is not that difficult to be successful in business. The problem is, it's the blind leading the blind. Everybody's looking at each other, thinking that he or she is clever, they are good clinically skilled, they had a good qualification, they must know what they're doing. If you're looking around at somebody in business just because they're a good clinician and thinking that they know what they're doing with their marketing, it's like looking at a pilot thinking he knows how to fix the engine of the plane. The skills are wildly different. And I mean no disrespect to anybody who loves the fact that they are clinically skilled. Great. So was I, but I was dreadful at marketing. It did nothing to solve the fact that nobody was filling out forms on my website, no matter how good I got at recovering ACL sprains. The two skills are completely, uniquely different. And if you are struggling along right now, you've got people in the background thinking, oh, you'll never be able to do it. This is what this is about. We'll position you very quickly as an authority. We'll give you the tools and the skills that you need to actually market your practice to get this thing off the ground and show those people who right now doubt you that they are fucking wrong. And if you want to tweet that out and tag them in it, tag me in it as well. This is what we're going to do as we go through the webinar. It's about positioning yourself above the cheaper providers by marketing in a way that is congruent with what the patient actually wants to achieve. Being friendly and nice and experienced and qualified, that's not what I want to achieve. That's a prerequisite of being in business. Let's be congruent with what these people want to achieve. The more that you understand what the person is wanting to get from giving you money, the more likely that they'll give you money. They're not just going to walk into your clinic and hand over a credit card just because you say you're qualified. Me too. I'm just as qualified. I'm just as friendly. I'm pretty nice sometimes, most of the time, except when I'm in a webinar and I'm pissed off because I'm hearing so much bullshit from everybody about why marketing doesn't work. It does. You're just using the wrong strategy or you're not doing it. You're probably selling your services and credentials. This is 100% about positioning yourself above the cheaper providers, all those crappy, and I mean it with respect, inferior alternatives, the whoever, I'm not even going to say it, in your town that are promising to solve the same problem that you know how to fix better than anybody else. They are promising to do it unregulated usually. They can charge what they want, they can say what they want, and people are going after them. But they won't if you get congruent with what the patient wants to achieve. Here's the thing, and write this down, tattoo it on your forehead, have it on every single wall in your business. The core of any business success is the promise made to the patient of how it will deliver the outcome. That's it. In a nutshell, in a heartbeat, the core of your business success will come down to the promise made to the patient of how it will deliver the outcome. It's not who's got the best therapist. It's not who's got the best secretary. All of those are irrelevant if I can't get anybody in my store in the first place. I might have the best shoes, the best computer, the best whatever. But if nobody knows I exist, they're irrelevant. Ego gets in the way of running successful businesses many, many times. And what we have to do is focus on the promise. I'm going to talk to you about that as we go through today. It's about literally ramming it down their throat. I tried to find better ways to write that, and I couldn't. So I wrote it anyway. We have to figuratively ram it down their throat that you know how to solve their problem better than anybody else. If you don't, you will get compliance issues. You will get no calls. You will get nothing. And you'll always moan that it's the insurance, that nobody wants to pay cash, and so on and so forth. It's not about saying that you provide quality of care or that you are friendly and experienced and all that other crap that people spout. Everybody is doing that, and that's why everybody is stuck. Here's what it looks like. If you want to know what your business is going to look like, here it is. Stare right at that and take a picture of it. That is business growth 101 for most businesses. Point A, 0 to 12 months, work hard and hustle. Fine, everybody's got to do that. Knock on some doors, go meet the personal trainers, go to the gyms, ask a few friends, post out on social, beg and borrow and steal any referral that you can get in the first 0 to 12 months. Pretty tiring. But then what happens is you get stuck because those patients start to arrive, and while you're busy treating those patients, you go into a trough. And when the patients are all discharged, you're going to spend the next 2 or 3 weeks hustling again. Hard work. It's why I do not like anybody telling you to keep working harder or hustling. The last thing that this profession needs is people working harder. What they need is a completely different strategy. If you keep working hard, You bring those patients in, but while you're treating the patients, nothing else is being done. There's no predictable system for bringing in inquiries, and therefore what you get is a peak, and then you get a trough. And when you have to climb back out of the trough, the 2, 3, 4 weeks that it takes, where you've got no patients on schedule and no money coming in, that is what defines your profit at the end of the year. The peaks don't make you, the troughs break you. And when you look back at the end of the year and you think, you know what, you've worked hard as shit that year, which you have, nobody's doubting that. The problem is you've been working too hard for too long on trying to keep getting patients. And that 2 or 3 weeks of barren spell with no money coming in is the reason that people can't get past 20, 30, 40, 50 grand in their incomes, in their profit margins, and we want you breaking through the 100 grand. How you'll do it is Paul-style marketing, what we're going to show you today. Not for debate, not for doubting that you cannot grow a business without predictable lead generation inside of your clinic. And if that resonates with you, if you are point A right now, 0 to 12 months, good for you. You're going to avoid point B. If you're in point B, get the hell out of it as fast as you can and over to point C. Because I promise you, if I went and spoke to, if you know 50 business owners, I'd be as confident as I'm sat here now, right this minute, the 49 of them are stuck in that point B. And that would, if I looked at their new patient numbers over the last 10 or 15 years, that's exactly what their graph would look like. More to the point, it'll look like this. Spikes. Unpredictable growth. And down here, that's where it costs you. That's where the hard work is. That's where the frustration is. That's where the worry is. That's where the doubt. This feels good up here, but it doesn't last. And now it drops again. Oh, and there's another 2 or 3 weeks without any patients and any money coming in. Oh, we better get another line of credit to pay the wages. Oh, we better get another credit card to stick everybody and all the bills that we've got coming out our ass on the credit card. Let's see if we can get another 5 grand on that thing. Let's start remortgaging the house. Maybe sell off a bit of our pension to see if we can keep in business. 25 years later, the door gets shut, and it's literally, what the hell was the point of all of that? That is the madness that's going on in this profession. Hopefully you can see I'm pretty pissed, and the reason I am is because I'm forever hearing it. Every single business owner that gets in touch with me right now is stuck in this 1 to 25 year madness without predictable lead generation. Yet, every one of my clients that's making 100 grand or more, has made 100 grand or more since being on this webinar, they are using lead generation combined with authority marketing to grow predictably and profitably. And I'm going to prove it to you as we go forward. I want you to join the likes of Kevin, Jake, Tripties, Christine's, Mike's, Level 4s, many, many, many more who've smashed through 100 grand since being on this webinar and adopting this strategy in their practice. So, in case you don't know who I am, published author, the Healthy Habit book is available on Amazon. True authority marketing to get to a book published. I used to work in professional soccer as a physical therapist. I'm a multi-clinic owner with 18 staff and 2,000 visits per month coming through my doors. There's my business, my book, and me in my earlier years, 10 years ago now, working on the pitch with the soccer players. My favourite role is daddy to two beautiful little boys. I'm a small business icon. I ultimately won an award across the globe, ahead of 45,000 other small businesses, for the systems that I'm showing you today. As we go through, you can find me if you don't know who I am. I'm a real fully fledged business owner. PaulGoughPhysio.com is my active business's website. PaulGough.com is the home of my business school podcast, listened by hundreds of thousands around the world. TheHealthyHabitBook.com is where you'll find my authority book, and the PT Profit Academy is where my education and marketing material is kept. So, house cleaning. 500 of you, please turn off your cell phone and close down your internet browsers. Have a pen and paper handy. Focus 100% for the next 90 minutes on the material that I will be teaching you. I'm going to give you my story and how direct marketing changed my life, case studies of other PTs who have used this exact system to change their business fortunes, how you can recreate all of the steps that I'll show you. And I know many of you are on here to grab one of the last 13 spots that we've got to join the upcoming New Patient Accelerator program that is about to kick off in just over a week, with 13 spots left. It's going to be a bit of fun at the end of this webinar to see who gets them. My story: I started my career as a physical therapist in professional soccer. I loved it, but I wanted to be more entrepreneurial. That's because if I wanted to make more money, I'd pretty much hit a ceiling. And therefore, I was going to have to take a risk on starting my own business, which was risky and frightening because I was starting a business in a country with completely free healthcare. Here in the UK, if you're not quite familiar, pretty much everybody gets given what I do for free, paid for by the government. But despite that, I took the risk and I started the business now known as the Paul Gough Physio Rooms in 2007, right around the recession, Zero money, zero experience, and zero business skills, and most of all, no relationships with doctors. It was pretty tough to get going, but I did what everybody did. I made use of friends and family, and I got going. I built a steady client base and eventually built up some relationships with some third parties. By 2011, I was doing okay, surviving and making a living, but eventually my profits had flatlined, and that was primarily because of this thing that I spoke about when I said at the beginning that it was madness for this profession to keep going the way that it is. It's because I'm living proof of it. Profits were going down because insurance companies were driving down the cost that they were going to pay while expenses were going up. People wanted more money, salaries, etc. I was stuck in the middle of it. So because of the recession and the insurance companies making these big cutbacks to their reimbursements, it was harder to make a profit. And regularly I would experience coming into work to be told via an email or a letter that my reimbursements were going down, and therefore that we would have to work twice as hard. But that was the least of my worries. Health was beginning to suffer. At the tender age of just 31, I was beginning to get problems with my hands and fingers that were so painfully bad that it meant I couldn't even use the phone to send an SMS on my phone. I physically couldn't type, and still to this day I have disfigured fingers from the work that I was doing back then. But worse was to come. In 2012, I ended up here, the Dr. Phillips Hospital in Orlando. I suffered a heart scare at the age of just 31 while on holiday, and I was told by the doctors that my business had caused a heart stress and that I had to make some changes. I realised back there and then that despite wanting to blame everybody else, the government, insurance companies and whoever else, ultimately it was down to me. It was all my fault. I'd let myself get trapped in a system. I had no control in my business, and I was relying upon insurance companies to make a living, sweating every night about what they were going to pay, if they were going to pay, and when they were going to pay, and worrying over if I would actually have any money in the bank at the end of the month. I felt trapped and under pressure, and as a result, my heart paid a pretty serious price in my early 30s. So something had to give. I knew deep down that the only thing that I could do was take back control of my business. Perhaps, and as I look around at the 500 people on, that is why one or two, if not most of you, are on here right now looking to take back control and finally actually getting control of your profits. I promise you it's possible. You do not have to stay in the system like what everybody in this profession naively thinks that you do. But my next problem was this, zero marketing skills. And because I'd relied upon so long for referrals being sent to me, I wasn't very good at the conversion and the compliance thing. I had no marketing. I wasted a lot of money on marketing ads that didn't work. And if I did get calls, they were from the onesie-twosie type patients who would call but didn't really want to spend that much money with me. Certainly not enough to grow and scale a business. And then this was the point, this was the pivotal day when I stumbled across something called educational-based marketing. A new way to market your practice and acquire new patients by adding significant value up front so that they see the value in advance. Changed everything. Everything for me changed. And over the last year or two, as more and more people have tried to dabble with it, things have changed there, and we've had to adapt the strategy that we use, and we've had to move more towards this authority-based marketing than just even lead generation now. It's a combination of the both, and that's because of the number of advertisers that can very easily get on something like Facebook or do social media. It's just becoming a complete mess, for want of a better word, where consumers are now more confused than ever. So we have to be different, and that is the reason that we need to add this authority aspect to your marketing, and primarily does explain why there is so much frustration for business owners who try direct marketing and it fails for them. So the education stuff, the direct response marketing is still working. We just need to apply it differently and put a little bit of an emphasis now on you becoming the trusted authority in your town. For me, it remains the single strategy that I've used to grow both my physical therapy business and this business and a third business that I own. It had me stuck, almost burnt out and losing money. To one that is well over $1 million in value in less than 13 months, that does not rely upon insurance or doctors, and one that I do not have to be there every day either. I've got staff running the business for me. I got to write a book, and my second book is out next month. I have a self-serving practice that's foundation is 80% of its patients coming to me and paying in cash without any input from doctors or third-party referrals. I now write newspaper columns. I'm a local expert in the 2 regional newspapers around the northeast of England. It gives me a distinct advantage over my competition. I get to travel the world from DC to, that's us on a flight to Australia, to Disneyland to see Mickey, San Diego to see my sister, Philly to see Rocky, New York for Natalie to do some shopping, and all the way over to Hollywood just to hang out and look cool in the park with Harry. And I'm right now in the middle of relocating to the USA, just waiting for the final clearance to come over and continue to grow my business some 5,000 miles away and let my clinic grow. But here's the best part. It didn't just happen to me. I've since taught it to hundreds of PTs, and this is the proof that I want to give you. This is the real, as I believe, the best thing that I can do for you is to bring your awareness to the fact that not just how to do it, the fact that people are doing it. We have now what we call a 100k cash club. It's a 100 grand cash club. People who have gone on having took this exact system, put it into play in their own business, and smashed through the 100k cash club. First member, Kevin Vandy. Kevin is from Competitive Edge PT over in California. Here's what he had to say. Within 3 months of using Paul's marketing method, my revenue had grown threefold. I've since had a 20 grand week, 20 grand cash week. And yet before implementing Paul's marketing strategies, I wasn't even making that in 3 months. I also worked 25 hours less, the big difference, meaning he can spend more time with family, his beautiful 4 children and his wife. That is one of our 100k cash club members. Another one is Nick Hunter from Phoenix, Arizona. Self-professed, he was working too hard before learning these strategies, and since implementing Paul's material, I have experienced 100% growth in revenue, and I've used that to bring in 2 full-time PTs so that I can be at work less and home more. This all happened inside of 5 months of doing what Paul showed me to do. Another 100k cash club member is Tripti. She was on this webinar around about 2 years ago and since decided to work with me, and she smashed through it, now charging 225. I think she was at 150 when we met her. She's gotten a 50% increase in revenue since she started using this stuff. And finally, this is the beautiful aspect of actually taking the time to learn how to market. She's got the clarity and a plan to grow a profitable cash business using direct to marketing to the public strategies. So, authority, marketing, the foundation for adding 100k in cash to your salary in the next 12 months. So, let me show you the formula on how you do it. There is a simple step, or 3 steps that you must take, that if you are wanting to make 100k in your income, it's 3 steps, and here's how you do it. Number 1, increase your new patients by just 30%. So, if you are currently getting 3 patients a week, we need to get that to 4 new patients a week. So, it's just 1 more. Number 2, increase the number of visits by just 30%, i.e. go from 3 visits to 4. So if the completed plan of care average is 3 at your practice, if we get that to 4 and we increase your prices by just 20% from 150 to 180, then you're going to be able to add 100 grand to your income in the next 12 months. And it's all highly possible. Think about how authority marketing works. What we said was more people want to choose you if you are an authority. That's not for debate. We all know that. We all do that, and everybody else does that. So the question is, can we get you 1 more new patient because of being authority? Where if somebody's on Google and somebody lands on your website and you're positioned as an authority and everybody else has a Me Too style, I'm a great physio website, it's just a complete cluster, F-U-C-K for want of a better word, and nobody really stands out, you will get that call if you are the authority. And now because they trust you, they really believe in you, and they know that you are a trusted expert and you are the authority figure in your town, if your heart surgeon told you to come for 4 visits, would you push back and say, I'm only coming for 2? Of course you wouldn't, because he's an authority. So with authority, we can very easily get you and the right marketing message. Instead of promising to end pain, we can move your marketing message towards something really important as the person sees it, like independence or mobility or avoiding painkillers for the rest of their life. They will instead want 3 sessions, instead of wanting 3, they will want 4 sessions. And step number 3, if you're charging the lowly numbers of 150, 160, it's not that difficult to increase your prices to 180. In fact, it's easier to raise your rates from 150 to 195 than it is to 180, and I'll show that to you as you go through the webinar. That's the formula. That's it. There's not much more to it to add 100k to your revenue in the next 12 months. So next, let's look at how to do these 3 things. Well, increasing your numbers, right? That's the first step. It requires you to start marketing to the 93% of people everybody else is overlooking. And if you haven't seen the study, there is an amazing study you can find on the website by two guys called Fritz and Childs, okay? Now, these two guys are PTs, and they do a lot of research around our profession globally. And these two guys concluded after a study in the US that on average, broadly speaking, for every 100 people who arrive at a local doctor's today with low back pain, just 7% are ever given a referral to see a PT. Just let that sink in. So, 100 people with low back pain. Okay, write this down so you can see it. 100 people with low back pain in Las Cruces, so in Frank's area right now, arrive at their doctors with low back pain. Just 7 are ever given a referral for PT. That means that 93% of the people arriving with low back pain are not. That is despite the evidence showing clearly that if they were, the cost of care would be lowered and the speed of recovery increased, aka sending them to the PT is the best thing that the doctor should do. But they are not. It's a research study proven, accepted by the profession, the APTA. It is out there for you to look at. It is another explanation as to why so many people who are chasing doctors are struggling. That what worked years ago was fine back then, but you're asking the wrong questions by following the wrong strategy today. How do I get referrals from doctors is the wrong question. How do I get all of the people that the doctors are not referring is where the gold is. So these 93, they're walking around town now. They're not going to book an appointment with a physical therapist because after all, if they needed PT, as they see it, the doctor would have made a referral, which explains you cannot market for physical therapy. You have to do something different. You have to use your marketing to show these people who are being ignored by everybody else because everybody's running after the referrals from the doctors. It's the blind leading the blind, the lemmings. You must have seen the video game Lemmings. You know, one person starts marketing to doctors, so everybody runs after the person in the front. But what happens to the guy at the front? Well, he lands off a cliff, and then everybody follows him off the cliff, and they all drown in the sea. It kind of sums up what's going on. The Lemmings effect of running a business in this profession. What people want is this. An outcome. They need to know that you know how to provide the outcome that they want, which is why if you use the strategy I'll show you, it's almost mathematically impossible not to be successful. So the big thing that you're going to take from me today is that you must start thinking in terms of outcomes that the patients want, not how attractive your ad looks. Think in terms of outcomes that the patient wants, not how attractive your ad looks. Big difference. So talking about outcomes allows you to easily raise rates and prescribe more sessions, because it makes sense that if I have a choice of a physical therapist who's promising friendly service or another physical therapist who promises to help me as a 36-year-old guy who loves to go to CrossFit to get back into the box after 3 months of frustration and being told to keep stretching it like every doctor tells them to do, then I'm going to choose you and I'm happy to pay more money. You would. You do. I do it with everybody that I shop with. In the absence of any other reason, I'll always go with the cheapest. But when somebody comes along and promises to solve my problem in a way that is better than anybody else, I will choose them, and I'm not asking what the price is. And the reason that the profession is struggling so much when it comes to prices is because they're all doing what everybody else does. Keep marketing, credentials, and experience, and worry more about what their logo looks like than what they actually promise to do. If you remember at the start of the webinar, I said the promise that you make is what determines how successful any business is. And because you are an authority, you have a different marketing message than the ease pain. If you're promising to ease pain, and I'm promising to help them with independence and mobility, well, it takes me 3 sessions to ease your pain, but I need another 6 to help solve the other things that are going on that could possibly restrict your independence. So the marketing influences the way, not just how many show up, but how they show up and what they are prepared to buy. Again, there's the 3-step formula. That's how, if you use your marketing very different to everybody else, busting through the 100 grand mark, it's not for doubt. It's harder not to get to the 100 grand mark than it is. Primarily because everybody's resorting to, like I've said, the image style ads. It's crazy. So people will show up more time and pay a lot more if you are promising an outcome like maintaining independence or getting back to the CrossFit box. Write that down. Then if you just promise to ease pain, take a screenshot of that. That sums up the marketing frustration of most of our profession. And marketing dictates how many show up, what they pay, and how they will pay for it. Ultimately, said differently, write this one down, take a screenshot. Marketing dictates to all of the things that affect whether or not you can add 100 grand to your income or not. Said even differently, if you're not marketing, you've got no chance of getting through the 100k income. You'll have to work so hard that you will not live to see the benefits of the work that you do if you're trying to do it any other way than the one I'm promising to you today. To hit the magical 100k, to get in the 100, I've got a cash club and I have a 100 grand cash club in my company. You must stop running ads that look like this. By the way, one of my ads, one of my very early ads, I've made all of these mistakes. That's why I can confidently stand here and teach you it. This will not help you hit the 100 grand mark. Ease your pain fast with physio, classic off the internet images, call now and book, nice images of my staff and my offers and a telephone number and my logo and so on and so forth. Those image ads will not help you hit 100 grand. And that is one of my ads from 6 or 7 years ago when I first started trying to market and ultimately getting stuck. Instead, you must start running ads that look like this, that promise outcomes and show value. So this is promising an outcome to somebody with a migraine headache. I'm adding value because I'm offering them some information of value that they might want to take from me. That is how I smashed through the 100k salary in my own business. We are providing value first and are simply adding a step that asks them to engage with us and connect with our message first. So what is authority-based marketing? Let's look more closely. To me, it's using your marketing to promise to provide an outcome in such a way that makes your competition irrelevant. Keywords: provide an outcome and make competition irrelevant. How much more successful do you think you would be if you had no competition? The answer is probably 7 figures, right? So that's something that we have to do. We know that they've got cheaper options and providers. They've got them here. They've got them in every town. Nothing is going to change no matter where you live. The solution is to show them that you can provide the outcome and to make the competition irrelevant. Image ads and worrying over your logo or how nice your ads look will not do this. And the next time, if you don't choose to do what I'm teaching you today, the next time you are screwing around with a leaflet or a business card, messing about on your website for hour after hour, worrying over what it looks like, not paying attention to the outcomes, hear this British voice in your ears. It will not get you to 100 grand. I'm going to say it again. It will not get you to 100 grand. And again, sadly, like what I said at the start of the webinar, there's probably only realistically 12, 13 people who are actually listening to what I'm saying right now, who are actually going to do this. Everybody else is nodding in agreement and then still going to go off and think that there must be a better way. It must still be about the logo. It must still be about my credentials and qualifications. And it isn't. The authority marketing strategy has become increasingly more about connecting with them at the emotional and the internal level. In 2018, it's now not enough just to know the person and what pain it is that they have. We cannot run ads that even just say, have you got back pain anymore? It is significantly more important. It is much deeper than that. It's the surface level. We've got to get deeper with our marketing message. And I use something called the internal patient profiling. It's an exercise that I go through regularly to help me create the right content for all of the marketing campaigns that I put out for every single one of my businesses. And to make authority marketing work, you should be writing all of this down now. You need to know who they really are and what they really want. So at my clinic, the marketing message is, are you worried about losing mobility or independence? It might be that if you're in the CrossFit, the athlete, the weekend warrior type niche, have you been told to keep stretching? Because their personal trainer is telling them that. The guy who doesn't know anything about the fact that what they've got is actually a sciatica problem caused by low back pain because that said personal trainer has got them on the wrong plan, pushing pressure on a disc, irritating a nerve. The personal trainer thinks it's a hamstring and he's telling them just to keep stretching the hamstring. It's not going to do anything. And 3 or 4 months on, he's being told to keep stretching the hamstring. When you market that you understand that, he's calling you or she's calling you. Did your doctor tell you that it was your age and to just accept it? Well, yes. The 55-year-old lady around my area, that's exactly what she hears when she goes to the doctors with low back pain. It's your age, accept it, come back in 6 weeks if it's no better. I'm starting to understand these people at a deeper level than anybody else. And because I know that, I can communicate with them in my marketing. Once you know what they really want to achieve, you can use it in various ways that look like this. It could be in video, it could be in free reports, it could be in blogs, or it could be in newspaper columns. It's about using many different formats to get the right message out there to make a connection. There's no company on earth right now that isn't pushing towards trying to either A, engage, or B, connect. Why? Because that's what people want. Ultimately, we want to show you as an authority figure able to get them their desired outcome better than any other option, like I keep saying. And here's how we might do it. Here's how we might show you as superior now to all of your competition in the eyes of your prospective patient, which is all that matters. I don't give a flying pig's whistle what my peers or anybody else thinks about my marketing. I've heard stories of people, oh, I don't like running ads like that. Well, what will everybody think of me? My answer was I couldn't give a shit what my competition think of me because they don't pay my bills. They do not keep my kids warm at night with the money to pay the heating bill that is needed. They do not put food and water on for my table for my 2 children. Like that, I don't care what you think. All I care is what the person who is seeing the ad who needs my help thinks. And what I'm trying to do is show myself as superior to all of my competition in a good way. I'm not pulling them down. I'm not saying anything at all derogatory about them in any way, shape, or form. I'm just showing them how different I am, and that is all that matters. Now, this is how we might show you as an authority on video. This is Dean, who's one of our clients. Very interesting story about Dean. Dean, you'll see him frequently featured in this webinar tonight. And the reason that I wanted to bring him out for you and show you again for proof, Dean has taken everything that I've shown him to grow and scale a 3. And since working with him, he's having record months on months. He has a 3-practice insurance company in North Carolina, traditional insurance-based company in North Carolina. So we started working together. He took all of these systems. He took this authority thing. He's now recognized everywhere he goes, whether it's in the bank or in the grocery store. People know him. People trust him now. He's a local mini celebrity. Now, Dean, being a smart guy that he is, he thought, well, you know what? We want to maybe go down and live in Charleston. And he has a beautiful family that he wants to go spend a bit more time with in the gorgeous area of Charleston. So he set up a cash-based business down there. Can you guess what his marketing strategy was? The exact same marketing strategy that he used for his in-network business in the other state. So if you were on this webinar right now and there's any part of your brain thinking, I'm different, my state is different, this won't work for me, I'm a cash-based business, that's okay for you, insurance-based business, or the insurance-based business thinking that's okay for the cash-based business, you're not regulated, and so on. That story that you're telling yourself is likely to be killing you. I've got proof on here at every point to show you whatever you're telling yourself is simply not true, and Dean is the best of all. Took the same strategy to make and grow an insurance-based business in one state and started a cash-based business in another. Exact same strategies being used. You might use authority articles on your website, quizzes on Facebook, surveys and quizzes, the ultimate engagement tool. Without doubt, still to this day. Free reports, still the number one way to begin a relationship with potential prospects. So the next thing that you need to consider once we've worked out where we can put your advice and your solutions is the media or the platform that you will be being seen on, and this is called the attraction system. Essentially, it's part 1 of the systems that you need. My practice, and for many of the clients that I look after, we've seen a resurgence of traditional marketing media, and we've gone back there because it's more effective than ever. Because a lot of people now are spending money on Google and Facebook. The opportunity, therefore, is to buy cheaper ads in the newspapers or in postcards. The ROI is back. Your ads might look like this. So at the start of the webinar, I told you about Level 4 PT. They charge $450 for cash. Now, you might be thinking, well, they're a cash-based business, and you can't run a newspaper ad if you're a cash-based business. It's not the market. Level 4 PT have kind of proved us wrong. That's the bi-weekly newspaper ad that they run, which, as they see it and as they tell me, some of their best, most highest-paying clients are coming from the newspapers. There's Dean with his ads for his practice, positioning him again as an authority, as a figure, not a logo in sight, not a I'm the best or most experienced slogan or tagline anywhere. all about what he can do to help people. That's for a business owner that I wrote an ad for in Michigan, in Rochester Hills, outside of Detroit. And there's for Jennifer, as a hybrid business owner over in Washington State, in Seattle. So traditional marketing media, don't rule yourself out of it, is kind of what I'm trying to say, in that whether you are a cash-based business, whether you're on the East Coast of America, whether you're on the West Coast of America, whether you're in Britain, whether you're in Australia, these ads work. Traditional marketing media, used correctly, like I'm showing you, which is positioning yourself as an authority, absolutely does work. We are running at my clinic ads that are disguised as expert tips columns that are informative and educational. And I have been, you can see the date there, March the 5th, 2014. I've been running these types of ads for more than 4, 5, 6 years. I do not come here preaching. I come here showing you what A, I am doing, and B, what everybody else is doing. Almost everything that I'm going to teach you today and tonight is backed up by my money or the result of something that somebody has done that I've taught them how to do. That is an ad that I'm running and continue to run in my local newspapers. And we've found that a combination of the tip style articles plus the request for free reports is ultimately how we're getting the best response rates and the best bang for our buck right now when it comes to newspapers. Facebook, still working like crazy for us here. Collectively, we run an agency here where we are in charge of close to $50,000 a month worth of ad spend on Google. We have our own direct connection with Facebook. We speak to them regularly. We know what works. We know what changes are coming. We know when the change will happen, and so on and so forth. And the frustrations that business owners are going through right now with Facebook are aplenty. There are many business owners trying to make Facebook work, but Facebook keeps changing what it does. It doesn't mean that it's not working. It just means that you have to be more clever with what you do. And yet it can still be the top referral source for you in your practice. Sometimes as many as 15 or 16 leads a week we've been known to get for our clients coming in off Facebook. The problem is that the advertisement capability has reached capacity. So we have to be very creative. Here's my most recent ad that is going out right now in my business. I put out a video which educates people on why back pain lasts for so long, positions me as an authority, a celebrity. People comment underneath and say, hey, I went to see these guys, they're great, or, I've heard about this guy, and so on and so forth. And because I'm positioning myself in the person's heart first with some good information, I can then follow up and ask for their contact details by offering to give them a free report. So I have a very 1-2 style punch strategy happening on Facebook, which is working better than ever. Now, a lot of people are struggling because they are going direct, to book an appointment or just putting like my page and all that crap going on, which is now a complete waste of time, by the way. Emphatically, the biggest waste of time is to ask for people to like your page, and even to post stuff out socially and organically on Facebook is becoming a little bit of a waste of time. And that's because Facebook users are becoming more resistant to free reports. So what we do is we switch up the call to action, and this is where it gets really strategic, and we focus on the outcome for our clients. There's Dean with all of the different videos that we've asked him to do. We give him the scripts, and my team help him create these videos, and we change all of the calls to actions, from send us a message, to click to take the quiz, to leave your questions, to claim your free guide, to click the link below, and so on and so forth. That's how we make Facebook work. That's what my team behind the scenes, my specialist Facebook department now, pretty much spend all day doing, dominating on Facebook for our clients. And it's highly possible that you can do the same. So here's 1 or 2 examples: a video, a quiz potentially. We frame the quiz as a low back injury severity assessment. We ask 1 or 2 questions, people fill it out, they give us their telephone number and email, and we can follow up with them on the phone to start that relationship, or we can put out a blog. The goal really for us as we do ads for anybody is to turn you into a celebrity. If you can become a celebrity in your town, you're going to get very few conversion and compliance issues. That's one of our clients over in Australia, Nick. There's Luke on the west coast of the US, in Washington, in Spokane. Dean, who's got the cash and the insurance-based business. It's just phenomenal how impactful Facebook can actually be. But in the last few months, you've probably seen it, Facebook has all but banished free posting for businesses into news feeds. But instead, it's now allowing businesses to get into the messenger section of prospects. And that is pretty powerful, because if somebody clicks or comments, it means you now have an opportunity to get into their inbox. And this is how we've done it for Dean. Somebody clicks on the blog or the Facebook post, you can see there Carolyn clicks, and when she clicks, this was another person who'd obviously clicked when we screenshotted it. Step 2, we continue the conversation in their inbox, and we basically give away the free report in their inbox. So if you get creative with Facebook and you really know what you're doing, Facebook still to this day is to me, it's the new TV. You know, wherever I go in the world now, if I arrive somewhere, people, obviously in our profession, if I'm at a conference, they recognize me because they've seen me on the new TV, which is Facebook. And it's the same here in my town. Wherever I go, people recognize me because I'm in the newspapers every week, or they see me on video as they see it on TV on Facebook. So it's pretty powerful for you to be able to do it. So is there anything better than more authoritative than getting to number 1 on Google pay-per-click? I don't think there is. Think about it. If you are number 1 on Google, you are essentially being authorized by one of, if not the biggest company on earth, as being the best in your class. That's what it means. Google only puts the best people to the top of the search engines. And if you get to number 1 and everybody else is down the bottom in the free listing stuff, you are an authority. You are, in the mind's eye of the customer looking, number 1. You are the best. Google has anointed you king. Google has been forever the number 1 strategy that I've used to really scale and grow my business, and getting to number 1. And by the way, I didn't do it by relying upon the free listings that everybody wants to. Anything free is usually a complete waste of time. It is. And if you're happy to be in that cluster of 6, 7, 8 other business owners, all with their business on there as well, you are at the mercy of price shoppers. That's why you're getting price shopped. When you're number 1, it's a completely different mindset that the business owners has instinctively, that this person is the best. So here's how it looks. The problem is now that Google are pushing more and more people down because it wants to open up more and more space for advertisers. So this is one of our clients in Scottsdale, in Phoenix at the time. We were running their ads and we got them to number 1 regularly with Google AdWords for something like $10 a day. Now everybody else is right down there in the bottom. Now again, think about it from a patient point of view. Who would you choose? Who would you rather do business with? Anybody that's down there is in a mess, is one of many, is, you know, me too, I'll do it for $5 cheaper and so on. The guy who's at number 1, significantly more authoritative, much better patient choice, better compliance and better conversion ratios. So the opportunity for you is now to get there, and getting to 3 to 5 spot on Google has never been easier. And it's something called pay-per-click that Google are pushing now, and it wants small businesses to be successful. It wants you to advertise there, and it isn't going to charge you unless somebody clicks to go through to your website. So now is the time to get to number 1 on Google. What is the purpose of a website, I ask? Simply to build a relationship. It's not to advertise and ask people to book appointments. Of course, that's what we want them to do, but really think about how you use websites. You use websites to get information, to find information, to start solving problems. You very rarely go to a website and book an appointment or give people money straight away. It's often 4, 5, 6, 7 visits to that website to read the same blog or to take the same information. If your website doesn't offer information or options to start relationships with people, that's the reason that it's not converting as well. Website success now is all about search to task completion. What does it mean? It means that Google is looking for signs that somebody engaged with your site. Did they take action? Did they watch a video? Did they scroll a blog post? Did they opt in for a free report? Did they fill out a form? Did they share or like a blog post? If they didn't, Google thinks that your website is not liked by the customer and it will not promote you. Expect not to be on number 1 or anywhere near the top 1 or 2 pages in 2018 if your website doesn't do things. I'm just giving you fair warning. One of the biggest frustrations that I see in this whole profession is, again, website designers who promise you the earth and then nothing happens. I've had clients of mine who've had the same website for 2 or 3 years and they never had a single call or inquiry form filled out, and they were paying $200, $300, $400 a month. Madness. There is an art and there is a science to website design that actually creates patience that sadly is not understood by many web designers, and I mean that with the utmost respect. Most web designers, they don't have very good businesses. It's usually they find you at trade shows, and isn't that the irony that they need to go to a trade show to find you or advertise in a magazine? You'd like to think that if their own websites were that good, they'd have found you anyway via their website. Just a thought. So 5 website mistakes: rotating banners at the top of the homepage. Who on earth wants to arrive on a website of a PT and see a nice, smiling, pretty 55-year-old staring back at me? That's not what I want. That's what everybody's doing. What I want to see is an outcome being promised so that I know that my valuable time is worth investing in you to stay on your website. If you have a rotating banner at the top of the page, please email your web designer tomorrow and tell him to take it off. It is costing you a small fortune and is the number one mistake that web designers make. There is no video introducing who the clinic helps. Again, mistake number 2. It's all about booking an appointment and yada yada. We have to have a video of you on there, very well written, talking about who you help, clearly identifying who you are, who you love to help, why you want to help those people, and so on and so forth. If you don't, I'm not staying. Again, back to authority. What better way to become an authority than have a video of you on the website? It's like a TV channel. The websites are all about PT. Statistically, for every one person that is looking for a physical therapist in your town, there is somebody 100 times more searching for help for back or knee or neck pain, and so on and so forth. Stack the odds in your favor by building a website that is about the problems that you solve, the outcome, not the service that you provide. And if you don't believe me, you can Google it. Google Analytics will tell you for everyone who searches for physical therapy, there'll be at least 100 who've searched for something which is a problem that you can solve. And your website is not showing up or being considered because you are not talking about the outcome that the patient wants. Back to the entire early part of this whole presentation, it's all about thinking in outcomes. There's no opportunity for information like free reports or videos or downloads, and therefore I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to book an appointment with you if I've just landed on your website tonight. It defies everything that you and I both do. You do not go onto people's websites and just book appointments straight away, and nor will they. What we want as consumers is information. Engaging inquiry forms are missing. Engaging inquiry forms are missing. Again, we have the crappy leave your name, leave your telephone number, and then we have the are you a human or a robot? Your web designer in his wisdom has put on some form, captcha or whatever it's called these days, which makes the bloody person who's reasonably interested in doing business with you pissed off because they can't work out whether it's a capital V or a small v, whether it's a 5 or an S. They try 17 times to input the code and they get it wrong, and then they go over to Paul Gough's website where they can fill out a simple form which engages the crap out of them, gives them the impression that I care more about what they want and the outcome that they want, and I don't care whether they are a robot or a human. I'll just delete the bloody thing if it is a robot the next day anyway. Again, it's happening, everybody. It's happening. This is the madness that's killing the profession. So recap. Here's how the educational-based marketing process works. Step 1, identify your ideal patient's internal conflict. Step 2, create valuable content that is able to begin to solve those problems. Step 3, give that information away free using different marketing media. Step 4, use your website to raise your authority and demonstrate expertise. And step 5, answer their questions about PT and convert those inquiries to paying patients using what's called a nurture system. As they say, the fortune is always in the follow-up. So here's some tips to make this work. There should be hardly any mention of PT. We are not asking for them to book appointments, and the sole purpose is to engage and or get them to call your clinic so that you can provide information. The automated nurture system goes to work next. Who wants to see some more? That's part 1. Part 1, I've got all day, guys. If you want to see part 2 and part 3, type into the chat. Just let me know. I'm good if you are. I'm going to have a little drink and I'm going to open this door because it's getting hot in here. We don't have aircon in Britain. Talk to me about what's going on. Amy, can you just switch that radio off for us so I can keep the door open? That would be very helpful. Type into the chat. Let me know. Is everybody keeping up? This is awesome. Show me more, says Nick. Tell me more, tell me more, tell me more. Everybody type into the chat if you want me to keep going. Come on, I need to see 500. I want more. I want more, PG. Yes, let's go. Let's do it. Show me more. Somebody type in the chat. Show me the money. Show me the money, baby. Cash is king. You said it, Nick. Show me more. Show me everything, Paul. That's what I want to see. Money, money, money. Dead right, Alexandra. You said it. Always more. More, more, more. More, more, more. Love it. So just somebody type. Show me the money. Show me the money and we're off. I'm going to have a little drink of water. In all seriousness, I like to have some fun. Very helpful. I'm feeling much more confident. Show me the money, Elsa. I love it. The greatest thing that you've said there, Elsa, what I love about that, feeling much more confident. That's it. Guys and girls, that's it. That's the value of knowledge. Not just information, of knowledge. There's a big difference between information. You can get information anywhere. Knowledge is what works. Knowledge of what works and what doesn't is what gives you the confidence to start making decisions. When we start making good decisions in businesses, guess what we end up with? Good businesses, good profit margins, money in the bank, stuff to do with kids, holidays, families, and so on and so on. It all comes from wisdom, from knowledge. Every problem that you've got in your life is because you don't know the answer. That's it. What's the root cause of all stress? Not knowing the answer to the problem that you've got. A lack of knowledge. You have to invest in yourself. You've spent however much learning how to be a clinically skilled specialist that if you're not careful, those skills won't be used because nobody knows you exist. That's why people start to get all tense and tight and frustrated. It's like, holy shit, I've got $1,500 a month to pay out in my bloody student loans. Nobody knows I exist. How am I going to get these things paid? I have to get a job. I need to get a loan and so on. You don't. You need knowledge of what works. A little bit of a hand-holding, a little bit of a, come on, he's how to do it, a little bit of a kick up the arse every now and again to get your butt off a seat and do it. But ultimately, you need proof of what's working. And that's what I'm just desperate to show you. Desperate to show you that this stuff works. People are doing it. It's not a fallacy. When you get it, the confidence levels go through the roof. You start making great decisions. And with great decisions comes great outcomes. Said differently, every single problem that you've got is really down to either it is the same thing, a lack of knowledge that leads to a stupid decision. And once you start making stupid decisions, it's a downward spiral that is never ending. It is what it is for most businesses. So let's get back to it. That's how it looks. The attraction system. Let me just... Is that music on or is that something else? Amy, can you switch that music off? I don't know if it's still on in reception if you're listening. The attraction system. Cheers. Is it off? Tap. So the attraction system. That's what that was. Okay, that's what that was. So let me read this one. My stress from marking myself as an authority and the potential of meeting expectations when people actually see me. Cassie, do you have any doubt whatsoever that you can solve problems? I doubt it. I'm pretty sure that if somebody comes and sees you, you can do a more than good enough job. Show me the money, Tim. Let's do it. Let's show you the euros, Tim. Excited to implement, says Rachel. Need to sell PT better, says John. This is how you do it, John. This is how you do it. Remember, in fact, John, I need to pull you up. So, this is good learning. This is good. I love this. John has put in the chat, need to sell PT better. Does he need to sell PT better or not? Or does he need to sell an outcome better? Maybe I'm not teaching this as well as I thought. You do not sell PT at all, in any way, shape or form. You sell outcomes, John. Sell outcomes that people want. Figure out what this person wants that you want to do business with. That's what we sell. And the reason that people always say, I don't think it's right to sell your services. Don't sell your fucking services then. Sell an outcome that the person wants. That's the point. That's why if you sell what they want, they love it. Why? Because it's what they want. They don't want PT. They want an outcome. When you understand this, it's licensed to sell, like, till you're blue in the face, the outcome. And people love you for it. So that's the outcome. That's the attraction system. It's a means of targeting the right patient that you want to do business with. But we need 3 systems. I'm going to teach you the other. I'm going to teach you the other 2 now, and stay with me because I've got an opportunity for 13 of you anyway to kind of work with me and do this faster and work with me personally on this so I can get it into your business for you. And just as importantly, I've got some great case studies to show you in the actual ads that some of my most successful clients are using. So we're going to swing back round to those ads as well. So the 3 systems, here's how it looked. True story, you want to know the backstory to all of this? I got on a flight to Chicago a few years ago, a marketing conference, Chicago to London. I started to write all of this out on the flight as to how my whole advert, lead capture, form, emails, phone calls, etc. would all play out. That ultimately has been responsible for growing both of the businesses that I operate in. It's the nurture system that we're going to speak about now. And this is the bit that's often overlooked. It's the system that really is where the money comes from. Because the first one isn't about getting money. It's about showing them that you know how to get an outcome. It's the nurture system where the money's made. So understand that. The attraction system brings them to you. The nurture system, and how good that is where you'll get paid. It's where the money is. And said differently, if you don't have a nurture system, it's probably the reason that you're not making as much money as you would like. So your aim is to provide the patient with educational information to help them make a better, more educated and more informed decision. You can provide them with three things: direct mail, email, or phone calls. All of these three things could go into a follow-up system. And my favorite phrase that I teach clients is the fortune is in the follow-up, because it is. The fortune is in the follow-up. And if you use direct mail, I've got example newsletters and postcards and emails. I've got phone call scripts that I'm going to give the 13 people who work with me in the Accelerator program specifically done for you. You need them as part of your nurture system. You need to write newsletters, you need to write these testimonials, you need to write these emails that are going out, and you need very, very clever scripts that talk to patients about what else it is that they might need. And these are the things that I'm talking about that I'm going to be giving away at the end of the webinar. These pre-written back pain newsletters, pre-written postcards, all of these things. These emails, that's what my Infusionsoft account looks like with all of my pre-written emails in it. All of these things that took me years to create, and now what goes into the follow-up system, which takes somebody from who is attracted by my message to becoming a paying patient at my client. It's the missing link that most businesses need between the ads and actually paying patients. The fortune is always in the follow-up. So let me give you a few things that you can use practically in your business. Two questions that you might ask somebody who makes an inquiry. Are you still worried about? What we want to know is what they're actually worried about, whether that's golf or not being able to play golf ever again, or whether they are worried about having to take pills for the rest of their life, or surgery if the problem doesn't get solved. And another question that you might ask is, what other options are you considering? What else are you thinking about doing? Are you thinking about going to a chiropractor or an osteopath, or taking pills for the rest of your life, or taking a knee support or a brace? When you start to ask them these questions, it tells you what you're up against. It tells you who your competition is, so that you can position yourself above it by talking more specifically about the problems that they are living with. The system produces what we call trust matured prospects. If you get enough of these, your physio clinic will be transformed. If you haven't got trust matured patients, how will you know? Because you always get a problem at conversion and compliance. If people make inquiries and don't get back, if people say they'll call you and they don't, if people agree to show up for a first session and then don't, if people push back against a 6-session plan and only want 2, if they resist paying your cash prices, you do not have trust. Think about it. You do not buy from anybody unless you have trust in the outcome that you are getting. It is the number one prerequisite of you handing over a credit card or some cash. Think about it, prerequisite of successful business is that the patient must trust what you do. And you can dress it up as you want, whether it's price, money, whatever. I know the same person who doesn't want to give you $200-$300 is buying a TV on Amazon this weekend. It's never about the money. It's that they trust in Amazon and the product being delivered and getting the outcome that they want, which is NCIS on the TV 24 hours later, high up on the wall, will be delivered. We don't promise them, or we haven't got that ability, and we haven't got the marketing often to back it up. So the system produces these trust matured patients, and if you get trust matured, you get a lot less compliance and conversion issues. Number 3 system that you need on the back of that, so if you can see there, your attraction system is number 1, the buy system is number 2, which we've just covered, the nurture system, and number 3 is your cash value system. So this is about getting the absolute maximum value for your clinic and from your marketing from every patient you see. If you're going to spend money on marketing, having this system ensures that you get maximum money, and there are 3 ways to do it. Number 1, automate the process of asking for referrals from current patients. 2, automate the reactivation of past patients. 3, find as many ways as possible to resell to that same patient for the remainder of their life. These are the 3 ways that you can maximize value per patient. Number 1, let me talk you through it. Automate asking for referrals. The best time to ask is within 72 hours of people booking an appointment. At this time, they are delighted to have made the decision and most likely want somebody else to feel as good as they do, or go through physical therapy with. Why is that important? People love to do things together. Think about it. You want to go somewhere? Bring your friend. Crying out loud, people can't even go to the toilet on their own. Like that's what we're like as human beings. So if you can bring the referral conversation up after 72 hours, then you're going to get an explosive way of growing your business. Now, we do it like this, by offering people the information that we use at the front end of our marketing system. So we might use the same free report on Facebook or in a newspaper ad, but we also offer that to patients to give to their friends on our behalf. It makes them significantly more likely to refer to you. And instead of the classic situation that I'm sure you've got happening all the time where Sally, who has got back pain that you're treating, has a best friend, Claire, who needs to come and see you, but she, no matter what Sally says about how good you are, will not come down. And you're forever having that conversation about how they've got somebody who needs to see you, but they just won't come down. It's because it's too risky for them. They just don't know enough, and the conversation isn't compelling enough. So we stopped all of that madness by giving people information and books to give to their friends, and it significantly increased the referral rate. And this is the exact webpage that we use. Amy, if you want to put it into the chat, paulgoughphysio.com/friends, we essentially send an automated email to the patient after 72 hours and basically say, hey, give this to your friend who's got back pain or knee pain or neck pain or whatever, and ask them to give us or ask them to take the report. And when they do, guess what happens? They go back through the nurture system. They enter the nurture system that I just showed you, which is the emails, the phone calls, and the postcards going out to them. So we get significant number more referrals happening earlier, and we get a significant number more actually converting to patient. Somebody said that they were looking for an explosive way to grow a business. This is how you do it. If you use systems, a great deal is possible. So there is the recap. There are your 3 systems. Those are the 3 things that you need to have in your business. And as I reflected on what this has happened, or certainly has done for me over the last few years, I was able to just take some time before the webinar and really have a good think about what it's really done. Now, I could sit here and say that it's made me loads of money and it's made me 100 grand and, got me that salary and so on and so on. But I think I'd rather tell you this. This is the type of patient that we get now. This is what patients tell us. So contrast that with, what patients sometimes arrive with, which is very skeptical, very nervous, being told to come and see you by a doctor, pushing back, asking about the price and so on and so forth. This is now what we get at our practice. I've been hearing about you from people I know for months. Can you help me? Big shift in the power. Can you help me? We don't get much pushback from somebody who says, can you help me? Big difference between somebody who says, can I book an appointment, and can you help me? Number 2, I've been watching your stuff now for months. I'd like to make an appointment. Trust matured. It seems you know what that means? That means that they know all about me. It means they know what we stand for. It means they know about us before they arrive. I'm not getting pushback or price problems. People keep asking, why do I not get price problems, and yet I'm in a country with free healthcare? It's because of what we're doing today. It seems everyone I know has something good to say about you. Will you take me on as well? Will you take me on? It's because we're nearly always full. We are almost 95% capacity, 7-day schedule, week on week. We don't really want more and more patients anymore. We want more and more profit in the business, but I certainly don't want to grow. And we've got to the point where we are almost an exclusive clinic now, that is to the point where people have to ask if we'll take them on. Number 4, it finally occurred to me, having read your article, you are the right place for me. In a roundabout way, that's what people are saying now because of the newspaper ads. That the language that we use and the words that we use to connect with them, both emotionally and kind of mentally, if you like, that we are the right place for them. The place to go if you want to solve your independence problem or your mobility problem, or you want to stay off pills. Thanks for staying with me. I wonder if I can make that appointment. And what that means is there almost isn't a day that goes by where one of my team isn't thanked because we had the nurture system, because we didn't give up on them when they were a bit edgy a month or 2 before, like many businesses do. For most businesses, when they hear a no, they just assume that the patient's a bad lead or that they don't want to pester them or bother them. We get thanked now for staying in touch with them. And as I look out my window in my hometown of Hartlepool right now, I know that there'll be thousands of people, and that's no exaggeration, who have benefited from this type of marketing that would still be living with knee or back pain had they not found or gone through my nurture system. They would have been told to accept it and leave it, and they would have done just that. And had it not been for this marketing and my nurture systems and my staff and all of the emails and the stuff that we give them, they would still be living with knee or neck pain. And instead, there are thousands of people, literally well over 150 patients a month at my practice from the last few years, who are now walking around with less pain. Anybody who wants to tell me that it's wrong to market, I look you in the eye and say you are ignorant as shit. Marketing is the number one thing that any business has to have if you want to help people. Think about all of the great businesses that you've ever heard about, that you love doing business with, and then ask yourself, how did you hear about them in the first place? Interesting question. How everybody wants to be so insular with debating over whether or not marketing is right, and nobody wants to market and be salesy. I do. All day long, because I know what the outcome is, that it helps thousands of people, and I'd much rather help thousands of people live with knee, neck and back pain and without it than worry over one ignorant asshole of a physio who might think that it's wrong to have a nurture system or wrong to make phone calls to people and so on. So it's up to you, but that's the impact that it's had on me, my life, my business, and the people in my community, which is now, tens of thousands in the database that I've got as a private practice owner. So having these 3 systems in place at your practice will help you get noticed by more people and have them understand the value you bring before they even arrive. Value does not start when you start putting hands on people or diagnosing them. Value must happen before they get there. And if it doesn't, that's why you'll get the pushback. That's why you're not getting conversions. That's why people do not want to pay your price. Because if I take one look at your marketing or your website, I can predict the problems that you've got, which will be, I'll let you know, I'll see how it goes, I'll talk to my network, I'll need to talk to my doctor first, I'll book those appointments, and then 24 hours later they cancel. I can guarantee you from one look at your marketing that the symptoms of the problem are those things that I've just described. This allows you to build trust. Trust plus desire equals lots of happy new patients. And remember, education-based marketing works because it gives you a chance to begin a relationship with people who would never consider coming to see you, but who would if you just answered a few of their questions first. There are only 7% of people that are confident and ready to book PT now. So if all you ever do is run an ad that says, I'm a physical therapist, call today, not many people will respond. Educational-based marketing allows you to speak to the 93%, the 10 or 15 times more people who need what you've got, but just need some help with some questions first. Just imagine how much more profitable your clinic would be with 10 times the current number of patients coming to see you. Here's my summary of the opportunity for you as we move to the most important part of the webinar. Cash-based. If you are a cash-based business and your prices are stuck in the early hundreds, this will elevate you quickly to 200 plus. And if you are an in-network provider, do even just some of this. Drop 20% of your worst payers and replace $90 visits with $180 visits, and watch how much more profitable you will be at the end of the month. So let's talk more about you and how you can accelerate the process. We are recruiting. We are looking ecstatically as I look to the 500 people on this webinar for just 13 people to work with us. I want to talk more about you. I have an opportunity for 13 people to work with me personally. If you know you need to acquire new patients every month, you know this educational based marketing strategy works, you know you want more marketing systems, and you know that doing this all on your own, you are likely to hit roadblocks and have questions. That's why I created this advanced training. It's the now world famous, a brand in and of itself, the 6-week New Patient Accelerator program that over 500 PT business owners have already gone through. It is the complete blueprint to attract all of the new patients that you need, transform your website and direct marketing, and increase your clinic's profits by 50 to 250% in the next 12 months. We have room. We are recruiting. We have space for just 13 people to work with us. It shows you the complete step-by-step process for creating systems that leverage the education-based marketing strategy to generate new patients at your practice. We have 3 main focuses: growing your business by 50 to 250% without needing those referrals from doctors, creating a marketing system in your clinic that'll let you grow much more quickly and reliably, and giving you a marketing plan to move you away from copay, from deductibles and insurance headaches. And ultimately, showing value to new patients so that they'll be happy to pay out of pocket. It's not for everybody, like I said at the outset. I'm pretty aware that of the 500 people there will only be 15 to 20 who actually do what we ever tell them to do. So we're really looking at narrowing that down to the 13 people who are not getting enough patients or inquiries. This is for you. If you are fed up of hearing, I'll think about it when the cash pay conversation comes up, it's for you. You are worried about raising prices and losing patients if you do. If you want to grow your practice without needing referrals from doctors, absolutely, this is for you. If you want to get new patients fast, even if no one knows who you are right now, you have no idea where to start with your direct-to-public marketing, this is for you. If you have website or webmaster frustrations, like we spoke about, this is for you. If you are frustrated with patients constantly choosing the cheaper alternatives or the insurance option, this is for you. And if you are just sick to death of completely being ignored or overlooked by doctors, come on board to the program. If you're an in-network PT and you want more cash pay so that you can be more profitable, you're an in-network provider looking to drop the West paying insurance companies and replace with higher value cash patients, and you've tried those very painful, very tiring, very risky back pain workshops, but they didn't work for you, or you just attracted the wrong type, this is the program for you. If you are about to leave a safe job to set up on your own and you want to give yourself the best shot at making an income quickly, you've just started a cash-based practice or plan to start one soon and want the best possible marketing plan to attract the most number of new patients possible, and you're an existing business, want to grow much faster in the next 12 months, then this is for you. So what's the price? When we first put this out, originally we spoke about putting this out at like 20 grand, $25,000 to get people to come through this with us. And let me explain to you why that stacks up. You're getting access to the complete system that has helped me to grow my own clinic by 250% inside 12 months. It cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars to figure out, and anybody who knows me knows that I invest heavily and significantly in my education. Nobody just dropped all of this into my lap. I've paid heavy and hefty sums of money, business coaches in excess of $50,000 year on year, to be taught all of this stuff, to get the knowledge that we spoke about, not just information. Ultimately, we're bringing to you knowledge of what works and what doesn't so that you can get going with this stuff faster and more confidently. You are going to get the exact blueprint that has already helped many of my private clients. I have a daily rate of $7,500 a day if you want to work with me or you want to hire me to speak at your event. My rates rose recently. That is what it costs to work with me. So the $25,000 figure that we're talking about for Accelerator, it was no exaggeration. Ultimately, when we had to put a price on it or a value that we thought was reasonable, was $5,000 to make it easy for people to come on board to the program. And we came to that conclusion because of the modules that we will be sharing with you. They have previously been sold off separately for up to $1,000. Up to $1,000 is what these things have been sold off to the public. So the value that we decided upon for the Accelerator program, it is $5,000. However, because you're on the webinar, and that tells me how committed you are, we are always only looking to work with the most committed and the most just dedicated business owners. As you get to know me, you'll know that I have a no whinging rule. I will not tolerate whiners. I will not tolerate excuses. To me, everything is my fault and only I can fix it. And that's the people that I like to work with. If you are still on the webinar on a Saturday afternoon or an early Sunday morning, wherever you are in the world, for nearly 2 hours to learn this stuff with me, gives me a good indication that you are very dedicated to it. We have still 481 people on the webinar, which is just outstanding. And I think last night we had something like 470 at this stage. So we've got even more people still with us right now, which tells me we've got a very committed bunch. But even that, I know within that group, we are still looking for a small majority of people who will actually take this stuff and run. So if you are, then obviously, and your ears are still perked up at the possibility of joining with us, here's what we're going to do. If you enroll in the class today, you can make just 4 payments of $897. So we will save 1412. That's really what this is going to boil down to. If you want to join this program and work with me personally, and I'll give you everything step by step, you know, ads, emails, postcards, newspaper ads, pre-written. You get a lot of material from me. It's not $25,000. It's not even $5,000. It's actually 4 payments of $897 for you to get going in this program today and join the 500 plus business owners. Or you can save a little bit more if you want. Just do the 3,400 option and save another 200 as well. So the price, it's 4 payments of just $897 or 1 payment of just $3,400. And here's the best bit. You can start the program today with absolutely no risk. You can take advantage of my 100% profitability guarantee. It is the best guarantee that I've ever given. If by the end of 2 weeks or 2 modules into the program, you do not think that this will do what you're hoping for, that it will solve your problems, or it'll just do the thing that I've promised you on this training today, I will give you your money back in full. That means if you are right now thinking about deciding over whether or not you should do this program or not, this makes the decision easy. You do not have to take a risk. You can enroll confidently. You can sample the program. You can test drive all of the benefits. And if after 2 weeks you do not think that it's what you need, just ask us for your money back and we will happily give it to you, no questions asked. So good news. You can start this program today, right now. You do not have to wait. We've made this program so that you can be successful and start right now. We've put this program together for you that makes it very easy for you to go through the program starting today. You will get access to the membership site within minutes of enrolling in this program right now, which means that tonight and over the next few days you can start to put everything together in play in your practice to get this accelerator method working for you. If you are in any doubt, just ask yourself, why would you want to wait another week or another month to be more profitable, to add $100,000? Why wait? You can start the class today, and we've made it very easy for you to do that. You will get instant access to Module 1 via the private membership website that you will have lifetime access to, and that means that you'll get access to the videos, the training, all of the scripts, all of the how-to guides, everything for life. And better than that, you'll actually get the updates for life as well. So once you become an accelerator student of mine, we take care of you for life. We'll give you access to the updates, and you'll never have to worry about any changes that are happening on Facebook or Google or anywhere else. We'll update the videos when we see the changes, and we'll send you an email to tell you that it's changed. So you are getting lifelong access to Accelerator. That makes it now the perfect time for you to enroll, knowing full well that we'll be constantly updating the information for you. So the modules. Module 1, essential marketing strategies and windfalls to immediately boost your profits. Module number 2, profit boosting conversion strategies. Number 3, old school marketing mastery, including direct mail, every door direct mail, one of the most underestimated marketing media, and newspaper advertising, which is unbelievably profitable for most of my best clients. Module number 4, essential internet marketing for online profits. This goes way beyond just Facebook and Google. Module number 5, the website solution and profiting from social media the new way. Module number 6, pricing for profits, and the cash upsell will show you how to raise your rates drastically and also how to add more profit to the back end of your service. And module number 7, the wheel of engagement, get your content seen everywhere. So, module number 1, what's in it? The most important and critical aspect of your PT business's marketing, revealed within the first 10 minutes. How to remove all risk from marketing. Never again waste money on ads that don't work. And the number 1 secret for guaranteed PT marketing success. This is all about attracting the affluent, delighted to pay higher fees. It's much easier when you work with people who can actually afford your fees and are happy to pay your fees. And ultimately, we'll show you how to find more of these people in module number 1. This is not just me teaching. You're going to pay primarily for this. You're getting access to stuff. I'm going to make your life very, very easy. You will get pre-written templates, free reports to copy and paste from, copyright free. My lawyers will not come after you. You will get given my best free reports that make your life very easy for you to just copy from. I'm going to give you the empathy map that I spoke about, and the most important aspect, the perfect patient profiling template that I use to really get inside of the head and the mind of the patients that I want to attract and talk to to them specifically about their problems, and I use the perfect patient profiling template that I would not recommend that you do any form of marketing without first going through this. It's not just enough to know that they are a male or a female, that they are 40 or 50 like a lot of people teach. It has to be much, much deeper than that. And if you use my perfect patient profiling template, it will actually give you the words that you need to use and say in your marketing to really set you apart from everybody else who is just thinking that their perfect patient is in their 50s, has low back pain, and is a male or a female. That isn't good enough anymore. Those days are long gone. You have to be using the perfect patient profiling template that I use for all of my businesses to make them more profitable. Module number 2, profit boosting conversion. This is all now about you getting paid, and we put this very early on in the program so that you can see an instant bump, an instant boost in your profits before you even get to the end of the program. And this is often the module that for many people makes a significant difference very early, and often even getting your money back very, very early, just because of the things that we'll teach you in this module. 8 simple and mostly automated ways to convert inquiries into high-paying patients. So even if you're getting one inquiry a week right now that you can't convert, module number 2 will help you, and I'll show you exactly what you need to do, even just to get those people over the line before you even start to get all of the other people converted that we'll get to you as a result of this type of marketing. What to ask in the first 3 minutes of receiving an inquiry that will almost guarantee the conversion takes place. What you do in the first 30 seconds, the first 60 seconds, and the first 3 to 5 minutes determines whether or not they will book and whether they will stay booked. Huge, and I'll teach you in the first 3 minutes. If you don't know what to do, or you're not confident what to do in that first 3 minutes when the phone rings, you must enroll in this program. Get to module 2 and you'll see a boost in your profits very, very quickly. The simple rules for getting to yes. You've got to get at least 3 yeses on the phone, otherwise you will not get a committed patient. They may agree to that first session, but we want them to agree to all of the sessions that you need, or they need to take part in, and ultimately getting to yes on the phone 3 times at least makes that much more likely. And we want them to say yes to every future appointment, and all ideally booked right there and then. But again, it's not just training and teaching, although that's important. We're going to give you the knowledge as well as this. The incoming call scripts, you'll get the actual physical scripts and video walkthroughs. Outgoing call scripts, because there is a very different script needed for how you speak to somebody who rings in versus somebody that you call back. We need you to speak to these people very differently. You have to speak to these people very differently. Otherwise, they will not like it. They will push back, and you will keep meeting resistance when it comes to that conversion. So we'll talk to you about how to do that, as well as giving you all of the videos that I use in my office, plus a swipe file, 10 pre-written follow-up emails that you can have. Just copy and paste, put your name instead of mine, and you will be able to put them inside of your follow-up system to boost your conversions. And if you just did this, change the way you speak to patients, this module will be worth the investment in the whole program. I am 100% sure, because it's at this point when we have our students that they tell us that they can already start to feel the difference in the way that they're communicating with their patients, the commitment that they're getting from patients, the conversions that they're getting that are much easier. All of this makes your life so much easier when you have this type of material. We'll give you reports, we'll give you postcards, we'll give you emails, we'll give you so much more than just the knowledge and the coaching and the teaching, although that is very important as well. So you'll get this material delivered to you as well to make life much easier, from postcards to emails to newsletters, all things that you could and absolutely should be sending out. One of the problems that many people have in business is they overlook the simple things, and as a result get lost in complexity. Things like newsletters, postcards and emails to patients are the simplest and easiest way to get people to say yes to your services, and I'm going to give you exact templates of things that you can be using in your practice to make your life much easier and conversions more likely. Module number 3, where we really dig into things like direct mail, referral flyers and newspaper advertising. I'll show you how to target the wealthy and affluent patients, all living within 5 miles of your clinic. Think about what that means. There is people that I will show you how to target so that you only send any marketing material to somebody who earns more than $100,000 per year. Think about what that would mean to your ability to convert, what that would mean for your cash prices. Instead of dealing all the time with people who don't seem to have the money or don't seem to want to pay, let's just get your marketing in front of people who earn enough money so that they can pay. Very, very easy when you know how to do it. I'll show you the exact postcards and newspaper ads that you can use to copy from. Stuff that is proven, things that I've shown you on this webinar that people who are already gone through this program before you. Remember, none of this is theory. This is proven, not just by me, by hundreds of people around the world who have took this program, who are running these types of ads, postcards and newspapers, that if module 2 doesn't get you the bump that you're looking for, it shall happen by module 3. I'm going to give you my best performing newspaper ads for both myself and my clients that have generated well over 6 figures in revenue, over $100,000 produced by the postcards and newspaper ads that I'm going to give you, that you can have copyright free. No need to worry about my lawyers chasing. You can have these things. Just put your name on them instead of mine, and you will be you'll be good to go. Module 4, a fabulous module featuring Facebook and Google and remarketing and native advertising. We'll have a special focus on Facebook advertising. There are lots of people out there teaching Facebook advertising, but not many, I can confidently tell you, and I would look you in the eye and tell you this, that have been running Facebook ads for a physio clinic since 2013 like I have, and I will show you proof of the ads that I've been running since 2013. Ironically, a lot of people run Facebook ads or teach Facebook ads but don't run them themselves, which always amazes me. I'm only ever teaching you things that I know that work because I've made them work using my own money and my own time. I've since then taught them to my own clients personally, and now I'm teaching them and passing everything on to you. So I'll show you step by step how we use Facebook advertising to get more leads and patients for a physical therapy practice. And I'll show you things like native advertising, remarketing, and ultimately how to use one of my most favorite marketing methods, pay-per-click advertising on Google. Easily the most important marketing breakthrough this century. It is just the best. And if you're not using it, you absolutely should be, and you will love this module. It allows you for just $10 a day to get in front of people on Google AdWords, where it doesn't take that much to add an additional 6 figures. This whole thing is around you adding $100,000 in additional profit to from wherever you are now. We'll add $100,000. That's what ultimately Accelerator is about, and all of the strategies that I share with you and the insights on this entire program have proven to have done that. I'm going to say it again, it is not theory. People are doing this. People are making and adding $100,000 in cash pay to their business, whether they're insurance, out of network, or cash. This program is what you need. It's the only program of its sort that shares with you real facts, what's working right now when it comes to direct response marketing for physical therapy clinics across the world. I'll show you native advertising, and I'll show you how to get your ads to appear everywhere on the internet. CNN, NBC, Huffington Post, the BBC, New York Times, USA Today, and it's almost free. I'm going to say that again. I will show you how to get your ads with your picture and your telephone number on all of these amazing websites, CNN, Huffington Post, New York Times, without it costing you all that much to do. But again, not just theory, not just teaching, not just knowledge, not just videos, walkthroughs, PowerPoints. I'm going to give you actual ads that work. You've seen the ads that I've ran for clients from all over the world that have added $100,000 to their cash pay profits. I'll give you the exact ads. And in fact, the ad that you're looking at there on the right, that is one of my very early Facebook ads from 2013, 2014 time. So believe me when I tell you that I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not passing anything to you that I don't do myself. And I'm very proud of the fact that we only teach what we do. I do it in my practice, I make it work, then I teach one of my early personal clients who pay me a lot of money to do it for them, and then I roll it out to everybody else in my programs. So that's how it works. I make it work first, I risk the time and money, I do it for my personal clients, and then I roll it out to everybody else via this program. So it's practical, actual knowledge, as well as how to, as well as proof and results of concept that you are buying from me on this program, unlike many other programs that you can buy out there, which is a lot of theory, not much substance. So a copy of my exact landing pages that I use to make Facebook work, literally copy and paste the words, and my exact remarketing ads. You'll just need to change your image and logo. For example, give you an idea of the value that you're getting. You asked me to set these Facebook ads up for you. To have my team do it all would be $1,500 for one ad. So the entry to Accelerator is worth it alone for the actual ads that you will be given. Module number 5, the website solution and profiting from social media. I'll show you all the mistakes that I can almost guarantee your web designer is making unless you're using my web designer. Essential conversion strategies, 5 different ways to convert visitors to from your website into paying patients. Most people have one. I'm going to show you 5, and I'll show you what 3 simple changes that will dramatically improve the acquisition of new patients just by changing one page. There are 3 things that you should be doing on your homepage alone will make a difference to 1 or 2 extra patients booking an appointment every single month at your practice. That alone will be the worth the cost of admission. And often, some of the things that I'll teach you on this program, they will take me like 5 to 10 minutes to explain and show you that you can go away and change that day, that will give you your money back that month, and at the same time give you a predictable source of revenue. Because if it works one month, it will work the next month, and it will work the next month. So the return on investment that you'll get literally just keeps building upon itself month on month. But you have to get going. You have to get in the program for that to happen for you. If you are serious about success, I implore you to enroll in this program, because you will not regret it. Everything is proven to work that I will be teaching you. You will see proof. You will get ads that are working for clients all over the world, not just me. I'll talk to you about price elasticity in Module 6. We want to raise those rates. People are charging a pittance. They are charging not enough to make the profit that they deserve, and I've become famous in this profession for helping people to raise their rates drastically, not just by a measly $5 or $10. I'll show you how to add at least $50, anything up to $100, and some of our clients have gone well past $100 additional to their current fee per session that they are charging. It's not just about one session. It's how do you add $100 to every session. Just stop and think about what that would mean to you. Right now, you do not believe me that you can raise your rates by $50 to $100. I know that, and everyone I've ever taught this method to said the same when I first started to tell them that I could do it for them. They didn't believe me. They didn't think it would work in their town. They think that their town is different, and they think that nobody will pay. And yet when I get them to do what I teach them to do in Module 6, within a few days they post into the Facebook group that it works. Some of my clients have had price rises of $100 to $150 a session with zero pushback, and over a year has added significant, like 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $100,000 profits just by fixing their rates. Think about it. Every patient that comes to see you, even if they only have 5 sessions, if we add even a measly $50 to that, it's an extra $250 for every patient coming to see you. If you see 2 patients a week, that's how we've just found $2,000 in your profits, which is $25,000 a year. So is it worth the price of admission to Accelerator, which is $3,400, to find out how to easily add a minimum of $30,000 to your profits just from Module 6? That's not from anything else that we teach you, just from Module 6. And I hope you can hear it in my voice how passionate I am and how I just want you to enroll in this program, because it's for your benefit that we are doing it. And once you see how easy it is to do all of these things, you'll never ever look back. We'll finally put some breathing space in between your profits and your rent and your expenses. You'll enjoy your life a lot more. You'll make better business decisions, and ultimately you'll just get on a very positive cycle of making good decisions about your business that allows you to grow it and scale it. And that's really the secret to my success, is just make good decisions about your pricing, about your conversion, about your message to market, choosing the right patients. Everything that I teach you on this program is going to make you more profitable, is going to add up to 20, 30, 40, 50, up to $100,000 and more for many of our patients. But you have to get in the game. You have to enroll in the program. You cannot win the lottery by not putting a ticket on. You cannot win the game if you're sitting on the sidelines watching. You've got to get in the game with me and the hundreds of other students from around the world that are doing this. It's not a case of is this going to work? They are doing it. It is working. The only question is, will you join us? Do you want to start making $100,000 a year extra now, or do you want to wait? Cash owners, I'll show you how to quickly diffuse the pay out of pocket time bomb. We all know it happens. The moment that they hear you're out of network or that you're cash, there is literally a silence on the phone. I'll show you exactly how to deal with that at the same time as positioning your prices to look cheap, even at an additional $100. Wherever you are right now, I don't care. If you're $50, $100, if you're $200, I'll tell you how to add a minimum of $50, easily $100, and anything up to $150, even $200 to your current pricing model that will be worth the admission alone. And if you are an insurance firm, and you need to add more profit, the only way you can do that is to sell more to these cash pay to the current patients, sell them a cash pay plan or a wellness plan. I'll show you how to do that as well in module 6, so that you can actually make more profit by doing less. Again, it amazes me when people hear that they don't realize that that is actually the norm of a business. That is the goal of a business, to be able to grow it, not for the sake of growing it, but for the sake of becoming more profitable. And if you're stuck in the insurance race and you're not quite ready to, go all the way yet, this program will help you to get an extra 10 or 15% cash pay patients, and then sell and load on a cash pay wellness program at the other end that we will price appropriately, that will give you an additional 100k profit in your bank for whatever you're doing currently. The bonus module, the Wheel of Engagement, we announced this in a recent version or a recent update of the program, and it was so impactful that we decided to keep it in. It's basically how to get quality content created that your audience wants to engage with. It is the secret to growing your audience on all of the platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and every other platform that you should be on these days, and ultimately creating a 7-day content engine that drives the Wheel of Engagement. I built my entire brand, my entire name. There is a very good chance that you're actually on this training with me right now because of the tactics that I've used to create what I call the Wheel of Engagement. It's something that I invented for my physio business, and I've since put it in play in that marketing business. I've used it across 2 businesses in 2 different countries to ultimately become the driving force, the name, the trusted brand, the expert, and get quality content in front of people that leads to people wanting to hire me and wanting to do business with me. I will teach you my exclusive exact formula called the Wheel of Engagement. Please don't let anybody else teach you this, because I invented it a couple of years back, and I've been teaching it ever since. I will share with you my secrets for how I became a brand and name, both as a physio and as a marketing expert, and show you the exact steps that, like I said, there's a very good chance because of the steps that I'll teach you, you're actually on this webinar listening to me right now. If it can work for me, I can teach you how to make it work for you. So I want to let you know, Accelerator is designed to produce a measurable increase in the number of new patients for the entirety of your business. We do not just want a sporadic influx that makes it difficult to be profitable. And it's going to get better right now. I'm going to give you a bonus that you can make your investment back before Accelerator even finish it, before you even get to going with it. I want to give you these things as well. So on top of Accelerator, I'm going to give you a brand new bonus program. So sitting in your inbox before even the log into your membership site for Accelerator will be this free bonus. If you choose to go through this fast, you can have your investment back before you even go through Accelerator. This is a very quick, easy to go through program, $347 value. It's called 7 Quick Marketing Fixes, and we can immediately boost your bottom line just by changing some of the things that you're already doing in your business, by compelling more cash paying patients to inquire about you online, to pick up the phone and call you, or walk through your clinic doors. Get profit boosting improvements to your clinic marketing that can make a big difference starting like tonight, like right now, before the email for Accelerator even arrives in your inbox. This will be the first email. Accelerator will be the second one, as well as free bonus number 2, one of my most impactful programs, most underestimated programs, New Patients from Community Events Blueprint. It is another new patient getting program, $297 in value, and it is a 2-disc instant access program that will show you precisely how to come away from any community event or small group with a bucket full of new patients to work with. It's not about arriving at those events, putting everybody's business card in a bowl and drawing a prize. It's not that. It's not even around you going to those events and setting up a stall and giving out your business cards. It's significantly different, and if you want to be more successful, I'll show you how to do it. They are a very underestimated, overlooked source of new patients, community events, and I'll show you how to do it right. And bonus number 3, I want to immerse you into my world. I'm going to bring you into my business coaching program. It's called the 4% Club because it's where all of the top business owners hang out. Just 96% of businesses go bust. We created the 4% Club because everybody is in it, is ultimately working towards staying in the 4% Club, which is the businesses that thrive and prosper these days. So the 4% Club Mastermind, it's additional training that you'll get from me personally live. Come on my calls. You can join me in the Facebook community, and you can even come as a guest to one of my in-person events where many of the Accelerator students that have gone before you are at those events. You can qualify for that as well. So I will give you 2 months free to work with me live on the calls. So as well as all of the video programs you'll get for Accelerator, you can ask me live questions on my weekly calls that I host with now close to 100 of the world's most serious, most successful business owners. And if you want to join us, this will give you an opportunity to sample what it's like to be part of a community that is basically killing it, where $100,000 increase in profits happens at the bar when we go to our events. And I want to bring you into that world for free for 2 months. So it's $900 a month normally to get in, weekly live training calls, and you can come to one of my events, like I said, and get access in the Facebook community from me, my team, and all of the other top Accelerator students that we've allowed to be in this program to support you as well. So you will get support in the program from other Accelerator students as well, not just me and my team. So recap, you're getting 6-week new patient accelerator training, bonus program, 7 quick fixes that will immediately boost your clinic, new patients from community events, 2 months free access to the 4% Club Mastermind coaching program, which is an $1,800 value. Plus I'm going to give you this. I've decided to add this just today. Double your profits per patient. So Accelerator is how to get patients. Double your profits is how to make more profit from every single patient that comes through the door. Double the net worth of every patient that you get, which is perfect if you are a new business owner and you've only got 1 or 2 patients. Let's maximize the value early. And if you are an insurance-based business owner, you need this. Like, this is for you. You need to know how to double the profit per patient. The catch, you must enroll before midnight tonight. That's the only catch. If you want this, enroll before midnight tonight. So you must order Accelerator. I'm going to give you the link to go to in a moment, but you must order Accelerator before midnight Eastern tonight, which would be 9 o'clock Pacific. So enroll and then just reply to the very first email and basically tell us that you want the program, and we'll deliver the program to your door. Plus, here's a big one for you. Now, if you are really committed, you're really keen and want to be successful in your business, and you know that this is right for you, I'm going to make it very easy for you to enroll. If you enroll while I'm still on this training, you've only got a few minutes left before I head off to see the kids. We'll also set up your first Facebook ads for you. That's a $1,500 value for us to create these ads for you. You will tell us which ad or which one you want, or we'll tell you which is the best performing based upon where you are, and we'll set the whole thing up for you as well. So you'll go through the program, and then at the end you can tell us, look, Paul, I want to get going with my Facebook ads. Can you and your team set these things up for you? So the only condition that I will place on it is that you must be enrolling right now, like in the next few moments. And I want to reward you and thank you for your time to still be here with me on this webinar. And if you are ready and this just gets you over the line, then I want to say thank you for your time and attention, and this gives you an incentive and a reward for giving me the last 2 hours of your life. But I'm going to give you this as well: 25 pre-written emails, 25 pre-written blogs, and access to my company's 3-day annual planning document. So you're going to get all of these things as well as your Facebook ads, and the only condition, and I want to reward you for your time and your commitment and your dedication to still be with me listening to the end. A lot of people start these types of webinars and then they leave because they get bored, or they start watching TV, or they play around on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and they forget to come back. And those are not the clients that I want. They're really not. And I've made a big distinction recently to the types of customers and the types of people that I want to work with and who I believe I can help best, and it isn't people that can't sit through this type of webinar. So to reward you and really to bring you into my world, and just to tell you that you are the type of customer that I want to work with and help and support, and that ultimately I can get the best results for, I'm going to reward your effort and commitment and give you all of these things as well. So even more emails to follow up with patients, pre-written blog posts to really make your website stand out, and things that you could be running in the newspaper ads, as well as my company's 3-day annual planning document, which is just thousands of dollars of value. But if you want them, you must enroll while I'm still on this webinar, which if you're thinking about enrolling, please get your credit card right now. Please have a backup card just in case your first one doesn't work, and get ready to enroll, because as soon as I announce the enrollment page, we have a flurry of people heading to that page. Often the webinar page crashes. We're anticipating all sorts of issues and chaos, and my team are there and going to answer the phone, and we start getting emails from people saying that they can't enroll. And ultimately it's simply because the number of people from this webinar who will go to the page will crash the page. It happens all the time. So be ready, be one of the first to get there, and you can get the extra bonuses while I'm still on the webinar. So one final reward, Like I said, I really am committed to you. And if you're committed to me and we work together, we're going to have a very, very solid relationship that leads to your success and ultimately the fulfillment that I want as a result of doing this. It's really about you. And the more that I see you be successful, the more fulfillment that I get and the more pleasure that I get in my life. So I want to reward you. And again, I want to recognize you and I want to say thank you that if you are still on this webinar with me right now, it's a very good sign that you are the type of person that I want to work with, the type of attribute, the attention that you are giving me and the time commitment that you are giving me are the attributes that I need to help you to be successful. So to reward you even more, I want to knock off the final payment and basically save you an additional $600. So it's a price drop. To enroll right now, you are going to save another $600. So 3 payments of $997 or 1 times 2, $895. So if you want the additional bonuses, you've got to enroll right now. And if you want the price drop, it's $600 off, which means instead of $3,400 or instead of 4 payments of $895, you can enroll right now for 3 payments of $997 or 1 payment of $2,895. So again, if you want the bonuses, you must enroll while I'm speaking on this webinar, and I've just added $600 off, 3 payments of $997 or 1 payment of $2,895. If you want the bonuses, I'm going to say it again, get ready, credit card in hand. In total, well over $4,000 worth of bonuses. You're covered by my no-risk 100% profitability. If you are sitting right now and thinking, shall I, shan't I? I'm not quite sure. Enroll anywhere. Like, that's what the free money-back guarantee is for. You cannot make a mistake. If you have questions, just enroll. Enroll and we'll answer them for you as you're going through the program, and if it transpires that it isn't right for you, then you can have your money back. So there's no need to ask questions, there's no need to even think about it or speak to anybody in your house. You can get your money back at any point if you decide that you've made a risk on this program. That is my 100% promise to you. Just let me know by the end of module 2, so you've got 2 weeks to go through, or certainly whatever that works out at. Module 2 will come around. And if by the end of module 2 it's not right for you, just send us an email and tell us, hey, it's not for me. I'm out. It's not, it's not for me. You can keep all of the bonuses that you're getting. So you really have nothing to lose because you're covered by the guarantee. And I know some people who are on this webinar right now will take me up on that, and that's cool. I'm very confident about it. I stand behind it. If it's right for you, it's right for you. If it's not, then I absolutely want to and will give you your money back, because I value the relationship with you long term, and I do not want you to think that you can ever make a mistake by working with Paul Gough and his team. Many companies would never do anything like this, but it's because I think about you over a long period of time, and I care about you and your relationship with me and my team deeply, that you are entitled to your money back if you do not think that it's right for you. Go to www.ptprofitacademy.com/new-patients. ptprofitacademy.com/new-patients. Choose your payment plan, get your confirmation email, and open your 7 quick fixes bonus video program and start profiting right away. And here's what I want to do as well, because we are committed to you making the right decision. I've made this very easy for you to talk to us. If you want to have a conversation first, ptprofitacademy.com/accelerator-discovery. That's the link that you need to go to. ptprofitacademy.com/accelerator-discovery. And if you go there, you can fill out a form and arrange to book a call with us in the next few days. We've opened up an online scheduler for you to do it, and you can book a call with me or my team or whoever it is that comes on the call on that day to ask your questions about if this is right for you before you are enrolling. So if you do need it, please book a call with us. ptprofitacademy.com/accelerator-discovery. It'll take you to a webpage. Just fill out your details. You'll immediately get access to a calendar that you can book a call, whether it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday next week. You'll talk to me or somebody from my team who'll just answer your questions about whether or not this is right for you. And so long as you book that call right now with us, we will honor the bonuses that we've offered you as well. So if you are wanting to book that call with us, please do that. But if you know that Accelerator is right for you, then please go ahead and enroll right now. So you've watched this presentation. You know you genuinely want to grow your business by 50 to 250% in the next 12 months. You know that it's new patient acquisition systems that'll help you to do that faster. And you know that this course has already helped other PTs just like you. Now, I want to show you this. This is, I've mentioned and alluded to people on this program who are killing it. Absolutely killing it right now since Accelerator. And Kevin Vandy is one of Competitive Edge PT. He recently did $20,000 cash almost in 1 week. You can see he's using the exact methodology that we'll teach you on Accelerator with the messaging, his videos, his free information, all of the things that we will teach you on Accelerator, Kevin is doing. And he just messaged me this as well not long ago. This came in from Kevin a few months back. Just a quick highlight. Had our third PT last week. Had our best single day of revenue, $7,000, and best week at $20,000. Next week, I can start only seeing clients 15 hours a week. Thanks so much for helping me achieve my 5-year goal in half the time. So Kevin is living proof of following our methodologies. Not only is he making $20,000 in cash in 1 week, he's now actually recording $7,000 cash days. And he's achieved his revenue goals in half the time since he took Accelerator. He did Accelerator just 15 months ago, and that was a message that he messaged me, and I was happy to be able to keep it on my phone and add it to this slide to share with you the success stories, the genuine success stories. This is not just me telling you that people are being successful. This is people being successful. Here's another one, level 4 PT, $450 cash per session using Paul style marketing. There's the exact newspaper ads. People say that you shouldn't, or you might not be able to run newspaper ads anymore. Well, these guys are defying the odds. They are running newspaper ads and charging $450 to the people responding. Postcards, exact website that we taught them how to do with the free information. There's the leaflets that they're sending out to patients as well. They were at $175 before Accelerator, and now they're at $450 cash using Paul style marketing. We will be giving you access to the type of material that these guys are using as well. So if you want to know new PT startup success, if you think this is, I'm a new guy, I'm not quite sure if this is right for me. This is Kevin Mao, a PT from San Francisco. Kevin was able to quit his job after taking Accelerator, and within 3 months was making more money in a month than he ever was at his mill-like PT clinic jobs. And those were his exact words. So even if you are brand new, this course is for you. It does not matter whether you are new or old. You still need a marketing system. And Kevin is one of many that are proof that this absolutely is for you if you are brand new or you are thinking of quitting your job anytime soon. This is how you will do it successfully and without getting stuck. So here's what to do next. Just head over to ptprofitacademy.com, new-patients, ptprofitacademy.com/new-patients. Choose your payment plan. Get the extra discount that I'm offering you, plus the extra bonuses. Get your confirmation email and open your 7 Quick Fixes bonus video program and start profiting right away. And remember, the option to talk to us, if you need to do that, ptprofitacademy.com/accelerator-discovery. If you need that option, if you just think it's right for you and you want to get all of the bonuses, let's just get going, all of the program, and get going through it literally today. But if you do need the call, book it, accelerator-discovery, and we can answer any concerning questions. But remember, you are covered by the money-back guarantee, which basically means that you can enroll now and ask some questions later anywhere. And if you want that type of discovery call after enrolling, we'd be more than happy to jump on a call with you anyway to answer questions and just to make sure that you can implement this easily in your business. So what will this do for you? Attract high-value patients to your practice, put an end to marketing that doesn't work, and give you back control of your practice. No more waiting for referrals to come in. It will make you stand out from a very crowded marketplace as the go-to PT. Use your marketing to add value to the already great service you provide. Create automated systems that will grow your practice much faster, more reliably, and without wasting money on marketing. And that is out of date and doesn't work anymore. A lot of marketing is out of date right now and doesn't work. Now, look, I can see people. I'm going to take a little pause there. I can see people enrolling in the program and people asking about the page. If the page isn't working or your credit card hasn't been accepted, it's either one of two things. Too many people right now are going to the page, in which case I'm happy to hold on for another moment or two while you do. And if it's the credit card issue, it means that you need to talk to your bank. It can happen when you make a first purchase online like this with a company. They will block the card. You just need to ring the bank. Now look, we can see that you've tried to enroll and we will honour it. So if the bank, or you're on hold with the bank, or you can't get through, please just stay on hold. Just tell them to clear the payment and we'll be able to process it for you and it'll go through. Or retry if they tell you to do that. The bank will tell you what to do. This happens all of the time when I do this training. People are either locked out of the page because it's too busy. People are frantically emailing the office right now telling us that they are trying or that they're having problems with their credit card. If you are trying to enroll and it says that it's declined, we can see it and we will honour it for you. Just please keep speaking to the bank and make sure that you get them to clear the payment. And if it's because you can't get to the actual enrolment page, well, you'll just have to keep trying. There's not much I can do because there are literally that many people trying to get to the page right now that the page crashes and the server can't control it. So keep trying, or just send us an email saying you're having a problem. Enroll, we'll honour that for you. Just keep going if you're having a problem checking out. We can see that you've tried, and I can see people already typing into the chat that they've enrolled. So well done to you. If you want to set yourself apart from competition using old-fashioned, outdated marketing methods that statistically cannot work for you, we know that these days, that it cannot work for the old-fashioned methods, and speed up the whole process to ensure that you hit the ground running and get all of this right first time, then please head over right now to the page, ptprofitacademy.com. You have just one more minute to do it. I've got to go. I've got two beautiful kids waiting for me that I need to spend some time with today. So if you want the bonuses and you want to take advantage of the extra $600 off, please head over to ptprofitacademy.com, new-patients. Get enrolled in the program, get access to it right now, start going through it, and if you have any questions, happy to answer them for you after the weekend. We'll jump on a call with you and just make sure that you're okay. But get the program, take advantage of the bonuses, take advantage of the money off that you can get right now. Choose your payment plan if it makes it easier for you, or pay in one go to save. It's entirely up to you. Get your free 7 Quick Fixes bonus video program, and I'll add you to the Facebook group. You'll start mixing with all of the other world-class business owners that I'm very busy creating a big community of. Some of the most successful accelerator students are in there, and they're all waiting to help you. We'll get you into that Facebook group. If you need to talk, ptprofitacademy.com/accelerator-discovery. That option is there for you, but honestly, I would recommend that you just enroll, because we can answer those questions retrospectively, because you are covered by the no risk guarantee, which means that if you enroll now and we have that conversation next week and it doesn't, you don't get the answers that you want, we just give you the money back. So just do it now. Do it now. Get the bonuses. Get the money off. You have absolutely nothing to lose. If you have questions, we can answer them for you after the weekend. You'll talk to me on my team, and everything will be cool. You'll either get the outcome that you want, or you'll get your money back. There is nothing to lose. So if you want to learn the world's most advanced marketing systems, by the way, you've got around 30 seconds if you're sitting on the fence. 30 seconds. I've got 2 more slides, I think. Use your marketing to add value so that people are happy to pay out of pocket. Create a set of systems, a marketing plan that can consistently and reliably impact your profits. Discover the very latest leading edge internet marketing skills to rapidly scale and grow your clinic. If you want to end all of your website frustrations and discover how to turn it into a 24/7 new patient generator, charge higher prices, finally raise them, at least $50 is my promise to you. Move away from relying upon referrals from doctors, end your insurance headaches, then head over to ptprofitacademy.com, accelerator-discovery, or if you're ready to do it right now, which is the route that we suggest because you can't fail and you can get all of the bonuses, ptprofitacademy.com /new-patients. Enroll. If you have questions, we'll answer them for you in the next few days. And if you don't like the answers to the questions, we'll give you your money back. And you'll get to keep all of the bonuses. Think about it. Enroll and then re-unenroll further down the line if it doesn't work for you, but you still get to keep the bonuses. If you ask us the questions and you don't enroll, you don't get the bonuses. So my tip, even though it costs me, enroll, get the bonuses, then ask us questions next week and we'll answer them for you. And if you don't like the answers, you can unenroll, but you can keep all of the bonuses and I'll give you your money back. So it really is in your best interest to enroll in the program now. Do it now. Feel confident with the profitability guarantee, and I'll see you on the calls and in the Facebook community, and together we'll put the accelerator method to work in your physical therapy business. Now look, I'm going to give a countdown of 10 seconds. Like I said, I've got my beautiful children I'm going to have to go and see. This has been an incredible training session. You've got 10 seconds to get to the page. Just head to the page. Right now, it looks like seeing people in the chat type in that they're getting through and they are able to enroll. If it's an order form issue, it's the bank that you need to speak to. But just fill out your details on the order form and we'll be able to see that you have had a problem with enrolling, in which case we will be able to honour everything for you. You just need to talk to the bank and tell them that you are wanting to send a payment to Paul Gough Physio. That's it. Once they agree it, try again. And we will honour everything that you have been promised on this webinar today. So you've got 5 seconds, and then I'm going to head off. ptprofitacademy.com/new-patients is the place to go. Enroll now. Ask questions in a couple of days. We can unenroll you and give you your money back if it's not right, but you get to keep all the bonuses. That is the benefit of you enrolling right now and before you ask the questions. Your trust in me, I appreciate, and I'm happy to let you keep the bonuses, and I will make sure that we even throw in 1 or 2 other things for you as well if it transpires that we've wasted your time or you've made a mistake. So you've got nothing to lose. You've got the bonuses. You're going to get the profitability guarantee, and we'll just really help you next couple of days as well if you need questions answering. So enroll now. Head over to the page. Use the order form. And let's get you into the program. And my final question to you is this. If you are not ready to invest now less than $3,000 to make 100 grand extra, when will you ever be ready? Let that question sink in. If you are not ready to make, if now's not a good time to make this much money, when possibly is a good time? Why would you wait till next week? Why would you wait till next month? You've seen proof that this works. Hundreds of business owners have done this before you. This is not theory. This is proven. You will get help. You will get support. You will get access to me. You will get access to all of the Accelerator students. You'll get access to my team. Everything that you need, we are dedicated to giving you. And like I said many, many times on this webinar, the fact that you are still here is such an encouraging sign for me and proves that you are the type of person that I want to work with. And I'm pretty confident that I can get good results for you, which is why I'm giving you the extra bonuses as a reward and to get our relationship off to a very good start. So if you're not ready to invest $3 grand now to make an additional proven by many people $100,000 extra, when will you ever be ready? So that's it from me. I'm going to leave you with what our past Accelerator students are saying about how quickly they made their money back. Gavin made his money back and significantly more within 4 months. Saw a huge bump in his profits. And Melissa Ray there within just 4 months. 30 patients, 8 more scheduled. Thank you for Paul Gough and everything that you've done to make this happen. Having the busiest week ever, says Gav, just 4 months after Accelerator. So if you enroll now, in just 3 or 4 months, you can expect this type of bump as well, so long as you do what we tell you to do. You've got nothing to lose. ptprofitacademy.com/new-patients is the place to go. Let's get you in the club. Let's get you in the program. Let's get supporting you, moving your business in the right direction, and you ultimately being even more successful. So 100K is waiting. All you've got to do is enroll, exchange $3,000 for a couple of weeks, and watch the money come back in very, very quickly. It's not theory. It's happening. And if you want it to happen to you, you've got to buy a lottery ticket if you want to win the millions. So we'll see you in the program. Last couple of seconds, head over to the program, get yourself enrolled. We'll honour the bonuses. Send an email by reply from the very first one you get to say that you want the bonuses, Facebook, etc., and we'll sort that for you, no problem. I'm here to support and help you. You'll get to know me personally. I'll talk to you. We'll be interacting and engaging in the Facebook community. Find out all about you, your family, your clinic, everything. You come into Paul's world and we'll take care of you way more than just seeing you as a business owner. You are going to be very special to me, and I'm looking forward to getting to know and work with you more personally. So that's it. I'm off. I'll speak to you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.